All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's another episode of ASAP in the morning, and we've had a lot of things going on in sports to talk about, and obviously, you know, the Boston Celtics and Golden State Warriors playoffs and finals. We'll talk about that here in a minute. I'm just kind of waiting for Frankie to pop in, and then we'll get that bad boy cranking. Rob Scott or Pride, if you're out there, you might want to join too, because we might be smack talking with these football teams. I don't know, but always good to be able to. But all right, man. Hey, let's get this bad boy started. Topic number one. I want to kind of talk about this. Quinn Snyder and these Utah Jazz. Quinn's been there almost as long as Jerry Sloan was with them. I mean, he's the second longest tenured Jazz coach, and he finally decides to step away. I know I've talked about it. I know Pride. I think a lot of people have talked about the fact that the Utah Jazz just don't have that number two to go along with the Donovan Mitchell number one. And I think that was the biggest problem for these Utah Jazz and why they were just kind of stuck or plateaued, if you will, kind of where they were in the playoffs and the regular season. And then, you know, Donovan Mitchell, you know, he comes out and says how disappointed he is that Quinn Snyder stepped away and how unnerved he is because, you know, the only reason he signed that lucrative deal was because Quinn Snyder was there. I don't think he signs it if Quinn Snyder is not there, or Quinn Snyder leaves before the contract got done. I think he stays there. And so now 1 year into the new contract, Quinn steps away and I guess leaves Donovan Mitchell holding the bag like, what the hell am I supposed to do now? And there's a lot of issues still on this team. And now you lost, you know, a pretty damn good coach. So you really don't know what you're getting in return. Ryan, what do we make of this whole debacle called the Utah Jazz?
Storm fire! Everything's for sale. What a train wreck in Utah. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
On top of being one of the worst NBA cities to play in and play for due to location and a lot of other details, it is tragic. It's tragic, Jay.
It is.
It's tragic. And I feel bad for the Utah fans. And I'm sure they're going to sleep every night praying that Donovan doesn't come out and just request a trade. That's literally the last thing that they need to press launch on the nuke. The last button. That's the button right there. But I think all of us NBA fans outside of Utah are ready for that. Quinn Snyder was the last straw for Donovan. He came out. Everybody knows how much he loves the coach. That's why he extended there. That's why he's enjoyed playing there, because Quinn Snyder's a top 5 coach. And yeah, I don't know where he's going, but Mr. Snyder, we have a kind of vacant spot in Philly. We would love for you to come coach the Sixers. We would love it.
But that's the thing, right, Ray? I mean, according to Quinn Snyder, he says the Jazz need a new voice. I don't think it's a new voice they need. I just think it's the roster itself that's the issue, no matter what coach you put in there, right?
You know, the biggest thing that jumped out to me is during the season. What news came out? The biggest news about the play of the Utah Jazz. Donovan Mitchell passes it to Rudy Gobert like 6 times over the course of 40 games. Of course, that's exaggerating, but they had no assists together. They had no chemistry. They had no ball skills, whatever. And I'm positive Quinn Snyder didn't say, hey, Donovan, make sure you don't pass it to Rudy.
Right.
He would never do that. So clearly, Donovan was not listening to his coach. So it's all over the place. So I feel like he did lose the locker room, just looking at that main fact alone.
And that's true. So if you're the Utah Jazz, number one, what coach do you bring in that you think can either, if you believe in the roster that you currently have, then what coach do you bring in that has the voice to turn it around, number one? And if you don't believe in the roster, then what is your first step to bring in a coach? Obviously, you still got to bring in a coach that you think can lead the team. But then, do you start then holding on to Donovan Mitchell and getting rid of everybody else? I mean, what course of action are we looking at here?
It's in crisis mode because they have two options: trade Rudy or trade Donovan. If they play the start of the 2022-23 season together, I would be flabbergasted, shocked. They are not playing together anymore. It's over. This is Kobe Shaq. There's just no way they're playing together. So one of them has to go. You trade Donovan, you're clearly hitting the restart button, but you can get a boatload. You could get everything for Donovan. But what are you going to get for Rudy? But that's most likely who's getting traded.
And I got to be, and that's exactly right. So it really depends, I guess, what direction are you going? Are you trying to still salvage a team and still trying to make the playoffs? If so, you keep Donovan and you trade Rudy. If you go to, like you said, if you go to rebuild, then I think you trade both of them, to be honest with you. I think you trade them both and get as many draft picks as you can and then go to rebuild mode and go there, because I don't believe in Gobert. I mean, what I like about Gobert is his defense. He does play good defense, but outside of that, I'm not a real big Rudy Gobert fan. I don't like his competitive level. I don't think he has a competitive nature that I would look for. And my big man down low, I want kind of a little bit more of a feistier guy than that, or at least be more of a scorer. I mean, I just don't think Rudy Gobert. I think I'm looking for picks for both of them.
You know who I think should jump on Rudy Gobert like yesterday? Well, I'll give you a hint. They can't jump on him until the NBA Finals ends. But Golden State needs to be on the phone with Utah soon as the offseason starts.
But then who are you trading for Gobert?
They have everything.
I mean, are you gonna give up Green? Wiseman.
No.
I don't think nobody's really gonna trade for Wiseman because he's injured. So I think Wiseman's kind of off the table. So then who do you have the next thing that you're willing to trade? You're not gonna trade Green because that's part of your.
Would you give up Jordan Poole and Wiggins for Rudy Gobert?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because I like what Wiggins brings to the table. And I think that what Wiggins brings to the table and what Poole brings to the table is part of what makes Golden State in the finals in the first damn place. So if I'm Golden State, I gotta be honest. If I'm Golden State, I don't think I'm giving up anybody right now.
Then who does? Phoenix? Maybe Dallas?
I can see Dallas. No. I can see Dallas because let's be honest, Kleber and Powell gave you shit in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that would help Luka's defensive inefficiencies so much, having Gobert to back him up.
I think Gobert's going to give you a hell of a lot more than what Powell and Kleber gave you. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. Let's not act like we're talking about a defensive player of the year multiple times.
And I got to be honest with you, given what we saw in the playoffs out of Dallas, they were looking pretty damn good till they hit Golden State. And I think the problem that they had with Golden State was down low. It wasn't because it was forcing them to shoot three ball, and they were having to live and die by the three because they really didn't have a presence in the paint. And I think Gobert gives you the presence in the paint, and that kind of changes the complexion then of the matchup and the series. And I love it. The different series right there.
I love it. Jalen Brunson's going to be gone. He's not coming back to Dallas. They're going to have the space. Bring in Rudy. Bring in another ball handler to help the workload of Luka. Oh, Dallas is back to the Western Conference Finals.
But here's a question. Speaking of Brunson and Dallas and getting them back, when it comes to Brunson, I believe he's looking for, what is he looking for? $85 million?
Yeah.
3 or 4 years at $85 million?
Yeah, look out for a sign and trade. He's in a lot of sign and trade talks. We'll see if Dallas can make it happen.
Here's the deal. So Brunson was, kind of sort of the number 2 guy in Dallas. And I got to be honest with you. I'm not saying that he was always there, but Brunson kind of was a big piece with Dallas. I mean, he kind of was. He really, if you take out
huge piece
Golden State series and look at the rest of it, I mean, he played a pretty damn big part. So if you take away Brunson, you still need a number 2 guy now in Dallas, don't you think?
Yeah. They got to find a ball handler to help out Luka. And there's going to be lots of pieces moving this summer. So there's so many guys we can name that's going to be available. Is no one going to be up to the level of Brunson? But with Rudy Gobert, I don't think you're going to need someone that, efficient. because he's going to solidify the whole defense, and Luka's all you need for offense. He'll make it happen.
No, I feel you. But look, Luka still needs a number 2. He ain't doing that whole damn thing. He still needs a number 2. It don't have to be the best number 2, but it needs to be a good number 2. And that's why it's kind of where I feel like Brunson fits that mold. And look, Mark Cuban got money, man. He ain't about this fucking money.
I've seen him on Shark Tank, though. He's stingy with it.
Hey, well, that's how all billionaires are stingy with their money, okay? Let's just be honest. They're not all just out there. Trust me, they're still that's why they're damn billionaires, because they make the right decisions, right?
Penny pinchers.
Hey, you making the right decisions unless you're Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, and then I don't know what the hell he's doing. But, here's the deal. And I shouldn't hit him, Jerry. Jerry has
if they can bring back Brunson and still Rudy Gobert, oh, my gosh, Lionel's favorite.
And that's kind of what I'm thinking, because, honestly, he's up for contracts. It's not like you can just trade Brunson. You're going to have – Blue, stop it. Nobody's at the door.
And we know free agents don't come to Dallas, so you got to make it happen, Mark.
They're going to have to go and get if you let go, if you don't sign Brunson, then you're going to have to trade, or you're going to have to bring in a free. Like you said, who's on the market that you're bringing in? I think Zach LaVine is he out there? Is he up in a contract here? Is Zach LaVine?
Yep. And he's not getting it in Chicago.
So maybe, there's one or two ways you could do it. Either A, you bring back Brunson, or B, I would try to make a move on Zach LaVine and pair up Zach LaVine with Luka, and then try to trade for those two guys for Gobert and bring in Gobert. And then if you had Zach LaVine and Doncic and Gobert, now we're cooking with some serious Crisco.
Oh, I can't wait. Throw some bacon on that grill.
And let's not even forget that Tim Hardaway Junior was out the playoffs for Dallas. They didn't even have Tim. He wasn't available. I mean, what does Tim add to the mix? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't like him as the number 2. Maybe a 3 or 4, third or fourth option.
But what I'm saying is, if you put a guy like Zach in, now you got Luka at the 1, Zach at the 2, and then you can have Tim Hardaway at the 3, and then you got Gobert doing your defensive and your low paint work for you.
Beautiful. Let's make it happen, Dallas.
And Joe McDonald, he makes a good point that Dallas should look at Gobert. They won a title with a good center play. He can help cover Luka's defense, and that's exactly right. Because let's be honest, Luka pretty much plays everything good, with the exception of defense. Now, I will say this: Luka, and I even think Jason Kidd said that they were going to work on his defense over the summer. So I do expect to see a little bit more defense on the side of Luka coming into next season. So, and again, that's going to be another thing. If Luka improves the defense, and then you tag him up with Gobert, who plays defense, and you got Zach at the number 2, Tim at the number 3. I mean, we're looking at some serious Crisco coming in, and I think a reformed Dallas Mavericks, honestly.
Who's already at the top of the league.
Hey, Frankie, he's just talking about the Dallas. He's still a Sixers fan. Frankie over there trying to get up some stuff.
I told you Frankie was going to start on go.
Hey, Frankie, if you're out, hey, Frankie, Ron said that you were scared to get the smoke from him today, and that's why you're not on here yet. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm at the chimney like Santa Claus. Come on, Frankie.
Hey, if you're wondering why Ron has his picture up instead of his video, it's because he's still in the fetal position, scared that Frankie might actually show up. And he doesn't want to be seen in that vulnerable position.
I'm in the fetal position because I'm still trying to figure out why James Harden decided not to shoot in the second half of Game 6. Not a single shot.
Frankie says, I'll be on soon. He's not ready. Hey, no, but seriously, I mean, if we go back to the Utah Jazz, I think this year is going to be the year of the shakeup in the Western Conference. I think the Jazz clearly are going to be shaken up. I think Dallas, if Marcus Cuban is smart, and he is, I think he makes some moves over the summer as well to get past that hump. Because I know Mark Cuban wants desperately to get back to the finals. So I think Dallas makes moves. I think obviously, clearly, the Jazz are going to make moves, and I think even Chicago makes moves. Because I don't think Chicago necessarily was happy with where they finished at.
Yeah, I see them trending down though. I don't know what they could possibly do.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I don't know what they're going to do too. Again, Chicago is an interesting phenomenon to me because we kind of got glimpses of what they could be, but with all the injuries that they had going into the playoffs and before the playoffs and so forth, we never really saw what the Chicago Bulls really are as a team. We got glimpses of it, but we never really saw a full, accompaniment of games to really make that solid. Yeah, I feel good to say that the Chicago Bulls are the it team. You know what I mean?
Because they're fraudulent. Someone tag Mike Hughes. Where's Rob Scott at? They're fraudulent. They're frauds.
He said that, hey, they're not the Chicago Bulls, they're the Chicago frauds.
That's why Rob wouldn't decide to be a Golden State fan.
You know what? Hey, honestly, I'm really starting to think that he is an undercover Golden State fan. I think that the Chicago thing is just a ruse, that he hasn't come out the closet yet.
Well, what I've heard is that he's a Steph Curry fan. Huge Steph Curry fan. And that's what it is. But I guess.
Hey,
Warriors in 5.
What's up, fellas? We say what's up back to you, sports guy. Good to have you. Good to have you in the comments. Frankie Cruz says, Mike Hughes, Rob Scott, Pride. I'm calling all of you out. Come get the smoke. It's free smoke Tuesday here on ASAP in the morning.
Yeah, it's summertime. It's beautiful. We're bringing the grill out with the charcoal.
Yes, we are. And sports guy says Chicago bums. Yeah, that's another one you could absolutely do. It's interesting. I guess the bright spot for Mike Hughes would be that, he's able to get away from the Chicago Bulls nightmare of a season, not so much a nightmare, but I guess disappointment of a season. And he has turned now to women's basketball in the Chicago Sky to pick his spirits back up. Because he figured what the men couldn't do in Chicago, the women will have to carry the torch. Just like the U.S. men's national team in soccer were bums, the women's team had to carry us to the Olympics and get us the gold. So, hey, I get it, man. Chicago men and basketball, Bulls, you guys are bums, and the women are just so much better than you, which it's true. It's true. And that's a sad part, but it's okay. Mike Hughes, he wants to defend himself.
They need to. If it's a miracle if Lonzo and Caruso can stay healthy, and they need to ace this Zach LaVine sign and trade. Ace it.
The whole Lonzo Ball thing. He's been hurt quite a bit, even when he was with the Pelicans. Not so much the Lakers. I mean, what do we make of Lonzo Ball? Is he really the guy?
I'm so proud, impressed with him, how he came into the league with that broken jump shot, and now he's a top 5 3-point shooter in the league.
Yes,
mind blowing,
absolutely,
and pretty good on the defensive end. He just can't stay healthy, and it's frustrating. It is frustrating. I'm hoping the best for him.
I just feel like when Lonzo Ball came into the league, I was scared for him. Because I felt his father had built him up so high that I didn't know if he was going to be able to live up to what his father was trying to build up, and that kind of made me nervous that maybe he might fall and crumble. You know what I mean?
Built him up so big that he went ahead of Jason Tatum in the draft. Imagine that.
Seriously, I mean it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And again, much credit to Lonzo for, like you said, he wasn't a terribly great shooter at the 3-point line when he came in, but he has really, worked on his game, developed his game, and I think he had to live up to the hype. He knew he had to. Otherwise, he was going to go down as the biggest marketing bust ever.
Right, and he's still young. He can still pan out and not live up to his expectations, but he could be a number 3 on a championship team.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of turn away a little bit until Frankie gets on here. I want to kind of talk about Aaron Darnold a little bit. As you know, he got a 2-year, $60 million contract that puts him at $30 million a year. He is now the highest paid non-quarterback position player in the NFL.
All time, Jay. And when you bring up Aaron Donald, I need you to say the greatest football player of all time, non-quarterback, of course.
I can't say that. I can't because I say that it's not because I don't want to give him the props. I say it because I just think there's other guys out there, that take, for example, Lawrence Taylor, man, in today's inflation.
Yeah, that's the only one you can go to.
No, exactly. No, but that's my point. I'm not trying to knock Aaron Darnold by any means, but what Lawrence Taylor did for football, I mean, let's be honest, man. If anybody was deserved to be the highest paid non-quarterback positional player, it should have been him. And it probably was, maybe. I don't know, but I can't say that Aaron Darnold is the best of all time. He's just, he just left into a really damn good contract. And he is a damn good. I'll say it like this. He is the best in the last 15 years.
Does an MVP in another title run change that thing?
I don't know, man, because has he changed his position so much that I mean, what Lawrence Taylor did revolutionized the linebacker position. And that's, what he did was just so phenomenal. That's why it's hard for me to say that, because what he did and how he revolutionized Ray Lewis came pretty close to getting to where he was, but even Ray didn't revolutionize quite to the level of what Lawrence Taylor did, And I think
I will put Ray above Darnold right now too. Right now.
I mean, those two guys are just. I mean, to say that Ray's the best, given the company that has been in the NFL and on the defense side of the ball, it's hard to say that. You know what I mean?
Right, guys.
But I'll tell you this: my top. If you said, "Hey Jay, who's your top three?" I'm gonna say Lawrence Taylor, no doubt, is number one, and then I will say you can make a case argument for Darnold at number two or Ray Lewis at number two at this point.
I love it. Makes me a proud Rams fan.
Hey, and that is saying something. I mean, there's been a lot of people in the world come to play defense, but none have played it like those three guys have. And honestly, and he deserves the money. I mean, that's $60 million. He deserves it, man. Every penny of it, and it's good. Like I said, I know my Cowboys aren't going to be in the next year. I'm a realistic individual. And so I don't mind seeing Matt Stafford get another ring just so I can stop hearing all the bullshit about Aaron Rodgers. And now we can say that Matt Stafford is better than Aaron Rodgers once he gets that second ring, which I think he has a really damn good shot at doing.
Yeah, Aaron Donald is, I think, like 0-42 when playing a winning team and down in the fourth quarter.
He said, "Dear antler spray for everybody." Joe McDonald, you come with the weirdest shit, but I love it, man. No, hey, listen. No, but it's true. I mean, and then you got Darnold signs on with Kanye West marketing firm, Donda Sports. And then we see Jaylen Brown comes over and signs on with Donda as well. How do we view Donda? I mean, Kanye West, are they going to be the next big thing to take off in the sports marketing industry?
Without a doubt. Kanye is a mogul. I'm shocked that he got one of the greatest football players and a top 20 NBA player. Mind blowing. They're going to continue to roll in because they have the sex appeal. It's very sexy.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, where Donda goes from here and how quickly do you think they blow up? Do you think he's going to blow up pretty quick now? It's going to skyrocket?
It technically already has. He just signed the richest non-quarterback to a contract. He gets a percentage of that, and it's got to be nice. Looking forward to the Yeezy athletic sneaker brands.
Oh man, that's gonna be amazing, bro. Seriously, and I kind of wonder, because that's gonna be a hell of a performance. How do you think if he can get the Yeezy brand tennis shoes, can he make it into like an Air Jordan type of?
Never.
And I think that Jordan sneaker is always going to be hard to ever bring down.
Not Jordan, but second place is very competitive. We've seen a lot of people go to Adidas. A lot of Puma had a big jump a couple years back. There's been a lot of people that made a jump for that second place position. Who wouldn't want a pair of Yeezy sneakers?
Hey, I'll take a pair of. God, I can't afford no. Can you imagine how much those sneakers going to cost? What, like $200?
Not even. They're four figures.
See, then that's my whole point. Do you see the mentality in which I have? That's how I know I can't afford them. I can't even get a fraction of that. Are you
I
kidding
won't
me?
be paying for them either, Jay. I got kids to feed, damn it.
Bro, if I came home with a pair of Yeezy sneakers, my wife would kick the crap out of me, man. She's like, hey, look, I'm not lying. I mean, I can put them on a credit card, but my wife, she's like, you know, watch this. You ever know, like, when you go to a bank and they see you make a purchase that probably wouldn't normally be on your, and, I mean, like, they're like Johnny on the spot, declined, you know, because we don't know who's buying it. That's how my wife would be. I don't think I could get them. I think if I tried to put it on a credit card, it would instantaneously go to decline because my wife would have that sense and just no. Hell no.
She's calling the bank immediately.
Bro, she's the first one. I mean, seriously, like, I think somebody is making fraudulent purchases and I'm going to jail and it was my damn credit card.
I know dang well my husband ain't buy $4,000 sneakers.
I know he didn't do it. He ain't that stupid to do that.
Somebody hacked our account.
No, but, you know, so again, how do we, you know, going forward, you know, do we see, you know, I got to be on, well, nah, I'm going to say that. I'm going to save it for Frank. I'm not going to go, I was going to go in that direction, but I'm not going to go in there quite yet. I'm going to give Frankie about another 5 more minutes. If Frankie don't come on in 5 minutes, we're going to just dive into the whole playoffs thing no matter what. Let me ask you a question, though. And are you a baseball fan? Do you watch baseball? Are you okay? I don't know. Some people watch baseball. Some people don't. And Frankie's on here now. So we'll come back to the whole – I got a question about baseball. We'll come back.
We got to talk about the Yankees now.
Yeah. You know, once I mentioned baseball, I think Frankie would be in here about 2 seconds because – he's a diehard Yankees guy, and again, you know, Frankie right now is at the top of the mountain. You know, his Yankees are just, you know, they're just looking formidable. And I know Frank. Matter of fact, I bet you Frankie the Yankees probably on here right now.
I am on here. How are you doing, Jay? Houston Astro McLovin, and how are you doing, Ronald?
I'm doing well. Thank you for the nice
are you here? Where's the smoke? Where is it?
Well, there's no smoke while we're talking about the Yankees.
I want to blow it out.
Hey, I was waiting to get the smoke. I wanted you to be on here first before we dove into this topic because I wanted you to get the bird's eye view of all the craziness we about to slap down on Pride and Rob as well. Man, we love Pride and Rob, but we're about to give them all the crazy business. All right, folks, let's go ahead and start this off. So I could tell it 2 tapes, but there are some similarities between the 2 games that have been played so far in the Boston Celtics and Golden State Finals series. If you look at the first tape, you know, you had a complete total breakdown in the fourth quarter by Golden State, and you saw that the Celtics took advantage of that and capitalized and got the win. And then we kind of go into game 2, and it was Boston in the third quarter that had pretty much the same breakdown, almost to the point where they scored, I think, the same amount of points in each quarter. I think Golden State both and Celtics both have 14 points, but just in different quarters. And so it's almost like one game mirrored the other, and the other team benefited. So before I get into my smoke, I'm gonna go to Frankie, and then I'm gonna go to Ron, and I'm gonna get your impressions of Game 2 and what you brought away from that. Frankie, what did you think of Game 2, and what is your thought process coming away from it?
Well, Game 2 was a really close game, honestly. Jay, you did say it right. The third quarter is where it changes the most, and I said this yesterday on the morning show that. It was a close first half, right? You had Golden State outscoring Boston 31-30 compared to the second quarter where they outscored them 21-20. Now the third quarter is where the Celtics have pulled the Dallas Mavericks, where they had lost the third quarter 35-14. 35-14 coming out of the half. It's not a very good thing to do, especially losing your big man and Robert Williams. So I think losing that big man in the paint, it solidified for Warriors and Draymond Green to destroy the paint, and hopefully they can turn it around with Al Horford or the other Williams that they got over there that was backing up Robert. But I don't know. I mean, it's obviously not Tatum's fault scoring 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Then you got Jaylen Brown who did what he did with 17 points. So you got your big two there that's doing what they got to do. It's just protecting the paint at this point because honestly, the Warriors are defense are a bad mamma jamma team in the paint. We already know what they can do at 3-point. It comes down to the paint for me. And I'm going to use Jay's saying, like he said back in the round 2 with the Bucks and Celtics. The Celtics have to penetrate the paint. They didn't penetrate the paint against the Milwaukee Bucks, and look what happened. It took them to 7 games. And then now game 2, they didn't penetrate the paint because they lost their big man, and look what happened. All they got to do is penetrate the paint, protect the paint. Let them take their threes because we already know what the Golden State Warriors are about. They're a shooting team.
Ron, what did you think of game 2, and what did you take away from it?
Put a fork in them. Boston is done. Barbecue chicken. Celtics. I mean, not Celtics. Warriors in 5.
This
Of course,
is coming
it's a
from
stretch.
someone who lost on Miami 18.
Of course, it's a stretch. I let you go, Frankie. I let you go. The Warriors, I just don't see a way the Celtics can win another game. How, Sway? And I don't think Jason Tatum had a good game. 5 turnovers, 3 assists, coming off a 13 assists, 2 turnover game, which I said was an anomaly. When I look at the Celtics versus the Warriors, you know what it is, Jay?
Yeah.
It's big brother versus little brother. The Celtics have always, remember when they used to call them the baby Splash Brothers?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
true. And they've come a long way. But we all know when it comes to big brother and little brother competitions, the big brother always dominates the little brother. The Warriors are not a better team than the Celtics, but they're the big brother. They're more efficient. They're proven. They've been here multiple times. They know what they're doing. They know how to get into the Celtics' head. I mean, Draymond Green, the way he plays the game is just incredible. He knows exactly the limits. He knows exactly how far he can push it. He knows exactly how to get the Celtics off their game and rhythm. And without Star-Lord, Celtics is cooked. Celtics is cooked. They're going to need a miracle. Jason Tatum needs to keep his turnovers low, which I don't see how that happens. They put Draymond Green on Jaylen Brown. He's done. How is he going to do anything against Draymond? I don't see how the Celtics win another game.
This is just coming from pure hate out of your heart, Ron, honestly. Like, I feel like you're just mad that the Celtics are this far. I'm not saying that the Celtics are going to win this finals because I've been saying all along that I'm going to ride with the Celtics until they make it to the finals, and then whoever comes out of the West, I'm switching over. Because when it comes down to championships, I got to rock with my West side. The West always got to win the championship. I don't care what
Yep, you said that.
But I don't know. I wouldn't say the Boston Celtics won't win another one.
Well, let me ask you this, Frankie. How do the Celtics win Game 3 without their defender in the paint, Williams, to hold it down, and Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart's play has been not what it should be. And of course, they're going home. So you would think they will play better, but the Celtics are 4-7. They have a losing record at home in the last 2 series. So I don't know.
You know what's amazing to me? And the Celtics did this against Milwaukee too, and I called them out on it. I'm gonna call them out on it again. They shot below 40% twice against Milwaukee. This particular game here, they shot 37% from the field goal. And, of course, as you know, not everybody showed up. I think, Tatum tried to show up. He did give you 28, but everything else was kind of pedestrian. He did go 8 for 19, which is below 50% shooting. Okay, I get it. He did have a good 3-point game. He went 6 of 9, so that's not bad. But I got to be honest with you. Given what, when he put 17 points, I believe, was in game 1, and they got the win. 28 game 2, they get the loss. I just
It's
think
his
those are
turnovers.
Those are don't. And again, I get it. The turnovers are there.
Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum 9 turnovers and gave the Warriors 7 freaking runs in the third quarter. Cut it out.
And that's kind of proving my point. The point I'm making is that everybody, I heard a lot of stuff, and I'm sure if you ask Pride will tell you, Tatum's a superstar. He's this, that, and the other. I don't think, and he's not a superstar, but you know what? Tatum's a fucking bum.
I think he's right now, Jay. Jay, stop that.
I'm
gonna stop you right now. No.
I'm gonna tell you what. Hold on. No, yes, I'm gonna tell you.
No, you're not gonna disrespect Jason Tatum.
He's a bum.
No,
he's lemon booty Jason to me. The spotlight.
I can tell you why. I can give you countless reasons why, Frankie, but you probably don't want to listen to them. I've got other friends that are hardcore Jason Tatum.
You're calling someone a bum who got 17 points in game 1, was down by almost 30 points, and came back to win by almost 20.
No,
Jay.
what I mean by the word bum is he's overrated. Jason Tatum is over freaking rated. He's overrated.
Agreed. He's a number 2, not a number 1.
Doncic wipes his ass with Jason Tatum. He literally does. Look at what Luka has done. Look what other players have done compared to what Tatum. Tatum is a very inconsistent guy. There's games where he comes out and he looks great, no doubt about it. But then there's games he comes out and just looks like complete dog shit.
He's a number 2.
You can say the same thing about Joel Embiid.
Luckily for game one, all the Celtics came out and played that game. All of them. And that's what made the difference.
You can sit there and say the same. You can sit there and say the same thing about Joel Embiid. He didn't show up some of the games in the playoffs against the Miami Heat compared to some of them where he did.
But he also had orbital fracture and ligament damage.
Then you know what? Then you know what? Be a big boy and worry about your future. Don't stress yourself out.
We're talking about Jason Tatum, bro. Jason Tatum. I know everyone wants to think that this guy's. He's a good player. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but he's not the guy, man. I just think he's over. I think he has more hype than what he clearly deserves. I just think he does, man. I mean, hey, I'll take Jason Tatum on my team, but I think he's overhyped. I think Jason Tatum is way overhyped, and I think it's showing.
He's like a Paul George.
Whoa.
Number 2. That's what I'm comparing him to.
Yeah, I would give it a Paul George comparison. Yeah, I'll give you that. Paul George has had really good games. But
he
Paul
had
George
great runs.
But then he's had really shitty games where he has disappeared.
He battled
I will say this for the Celtics, and I said it before.
What'd you say before?
No, what I was saying before was that the Celtics have to have every single person show up. Against this Golden State squad, you have to have everybody show up. You can't just go in there with maybe one guy, possibly 2 guys, or pedestrian-level efforts, and you think you're going to get a win out of Golden State. And that's why Golden State wins this series. Golden State doesn't have to have everybody to show up to win the series. They really honestly don't. They have enough weapons on that team within Wiggins. And I mean, even Looney has had games where he was a star. Wiggins has been the star. They have so much depth on that team that they can overcome when one superstar or other superstar. Take, for example, Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson has been struggling this playoffs, but he has come through in some clutch moments. But overall, he has struggled throughout the entire series. And yet, we're looking at Golden State, and they still have other guys that are coming off the bench and out of the woodworks that can make up for what Klay Thompson doesn't give you. And I don't think the Celtics have the type of team that can do that. And for those reasons, that's why I don't see the Celtics, winning this series or even really being anything more than what they are, which is basically runner-ups.
Put a fork in them.
The disrespect is real here for Jason Tatum.
We told you the smoke was ready.
I really hope he comes out game 3 and he just shits. Like, I just hope he just shits on the Warrior. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to say, Jay McLovin, Ron, you guys are bums for saying that.
And you know what? And I'll take it. If that happens, listen, Frank, I've proven that if I'm wrong, I'll take the heat. And I think I'll take the heat. I might get pissed off, but I'll still come on and take the heat. But here's the deal. Here's the deal, though. Frankie, I want you to explain to me this. Down low in the paint, Golden State outscored Boston 40 to 24. 40 to 24. And what does Golden State or what does the Celtics have going into game 3 that's going to counteract that coming off of the second game?
Easy. Al Horford, you're going to stop shooting. You're going to stop being around the 3 and stuff like that. You're going to stop worrying about pick and rolls, and you're going to worry about the paint. You're going to worry about Draymond and make sure that he doesn't do what he did in game 2. Real simple. You got the other Williams as well, who actually played well. Yeah, that's right. You read it. I'm trying to bring in the smoke.
Hey, that's what I love about Frankie. I know I have to watch what I say around Frankie. I know I have to because whatever I say within about 3 seconds, it's already in the ASAP group chat. And here we go. Look, it's lit. But for real, Frankie. I didn't get to watch part of that game. Is Robert Williams, is he going to be available in game 3?
I'm not 100% sure. He did leave. I think he only played about 2 minutes in that game.
He only played 14 minutes in that game.
14 minutes. I'm not 100% sure. I'm looking at it right now to see if he's going to be playing. It does say that he's questionable.
I'll tell you right now, if Robert Williams, if he doesn't come out and play a good game in game 3, you really like Ron Lowe said, you really can't put a fork in this team because Horford is not going to be able to hold down the paint. And I think that really opens up the floodgates for whatever Golden State wants to do to the Celtics, they can then do. And I think it was evident at 40 to 24 in the paint. Well, I mean, hey, you better pray to God that Williams shows up and he shows up healthy enough to do his job down low. Because if he can't, the floodgates are going to open up on the Celtics. All right.
He will be playing. He will be playing. He's active.
Okay, good. He's going to because they're going to need him. Absolutely.
Jay, I got a question for you.
But keep an eye on it because, injuries can take a toll on you. So hopefully, it doesn't strain it anymore. And
Jay, I got a question. For you. Forget what Frankie's saying. We're talking about all these Celtics players, and I don't know why we're talking about them. What are they going to do?
76ers.
What are they going to do about Steph Curry? Can we talk about him, Jay? Hasn't he not been magnificent? Is he just going to fall off? Like the first half that he put together in game 1 and then game 2, knocking down back to back to back to back 3. Let's give him a round of applause who's about to get his first finals MVP. Way to play your ass off.
Can I answer quickly? I'm going to answer. You want to know the easy way to stop Steph? You can't. The only thing Boston should do is the same exact thing they did with Milwaukee. Let Giannis do what Giannis do. Score 40 points.
Amen.
Do what he got to do.
I agree.
You got to do the same thing with Steph Curry. Let Steph Curry get his 3 ins. Let him get his points up. What you have to do is worry about Poole because Poole was a difference maker for the
he
Warriors
was
off the bench.
Especially with that buzzer beater.
He shot a 3 from the Golden State Bridge.
Hey, Frankie, this is why I'm telling you, I think Golden State is so much more dominant than the Celtics, right? Because, Jason Tatum, like I said, he's been kind of off. And then you look at what Curry did. And Curry had Rob, this is where I'm coming to smoke on you. Rob, Seth Curry actually played a shitty game. He really honestly did. Because he went 9 of 21 at the field goal, and he went 5 of 12 at the 3. Now, he did have some back-to-back threes, which is for him.
Yeah, he got hot.
But what I'm saying is, he had a rough game. Let's be honest. By Seth Curry standards, he had a rough game. And Klay Thompson went 4 of 19 for crying out loud. 1 of 5 at the 3, which is what I'm telling you. He's been struggling. But I'll tell you, the difference that I'm telling you is with Wiggins and Looney, and then you had what's his name? Poole at 17, and then you had the defensive effort of Gary Payton II back on doing what he did. So I mean, I just think that the Golden State Warriors, their bench is so deep and their talents are so deep that even when their stars aren't necessarily shooting the ball at absolute best performance, this team will still rise up and give you the dub. And I don't think the Celtics can do that. They can't afford to have their major stars, have off night shooting and think that the bench or the role players are going to save their asses. And that's why I think the difference is in this series.
I agree.
Everybody said,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. The bench is going to make a difference maker for the Golden State Warriors, especially with Poole leading it.
we're
But
talking about miracles though. Like, okay, yeah, Celtics, you got to stop Steph Curry and slow down Poole. Like, that's just an easy task to do. That's why they're in the finals. But I heard the Celtics got a defensive player of the year over there, Frankie. But I ain't seen him. Have you, Jay?
I ain't seen him either. I will say this. I will say this and this is another interesting stat is Golden State had 15 steals. Golden State had 15 steals, and the Boston Celtics had 19 turnovers. And that really is a tell of the tape as to why Golden State won and Boston lost. Was the steals, the takeaways by Golden State, and the giveaways by Boston. So
Lemon Booty Jason.
Hey, you can't make it up, and it's true. You can't make this up. And by the way, Frankie, I would expect for you to say that Ron is calling him Lemon Booty Jason in the chat as well. Why? I don't know why you always want to single me out. Put Ron in there too, because me and Ron have no problems giving Pride the smoke, but we should both get credit, Frankie. See,
I got you. I got your back.
But no, okay. Hey, quick question. Okay, so two questions. Number one, I want your prediction on who's going to win Game 3, and then who takes it and how many games the series. I'm going to say I have Golden State winning Game 3, and I've got Golden State. I'm gonna give the Celtics one more win. I just do. But I'm gonna say
because you're being safe, right?
I'm going Golden State 6, and I'm gonna stick with that.
What's the Vegas line?
I'm going, like I said since the beginning. I'm sorry, Pride, but I always go to the dark side, and I'm gonna go Warriors in 6. Next game goes to the Warriors. Final game in Boston goes to the Celtics. This series is probably going to end.
So are the Celtics winning Game 4 or 5?
The Celtics are going to win Game 4.
Okay.
See, wait, I'm sorry, I didn't hear Frankie. What was your final prediction on the series?
Damn it, Jay! Are you kidding me?
Same as you. He wasn't even listening, Frankie.
You gotta be kidding me, Jay. I spent my hard-on time to be on this show to give you my predictions of the finals, and you're not going to listen to it?
I'm sorry,
he broke down every game.
I was giving Pride some smoke.
You're busy going on the chat calling Jason Tatum lemon booty to Pride, and he's not even paying attention, but you're not going to pay attention to me. Damn it, you know what? Simple, Jay. Simple like this.
Wow.
It's going to be simple like this, Jay. Warriors in 6. Warriors win Game 3. Celtics win Game 4. Warriors end it back at home in Golden State. And then that's that. Steph Curry finally wins his MVP. Klay Thompson can finally ride into the sunset and get traded somewhere. Draymond Green can continue being a big bully bitch. And we can continue being happy.
So I got a question for you, Frank.
What do you want, Ronald?
It sounds like we're in agreement that the Warriors win Game 3.
Oh, definitely.
Steph is ready for Boston. He's ready to shine. He is ready to earn. This is the game that we're like, yeah, he's the final MVP. Duh. You honestly expect the Celtics to respond down 2-1, getting punched in the mouth, and just embarrassed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Celtics win Game 3 of the series in 7. Oh. Wow. And here comes my boy Rob. Yeah. I was wondering how much smoke we would talk before Rob would come on.
Rob.
What's up,
I'm gonna be the first to say this. Yo, Rob.
What's up, my boy?
Warriors.
They better know it.
So, Rob,
how you about to celebrate, Rob?
Hold on. I got a question for Rob. I know how I view Tatum in this series.
I'm at work. I can't be long, but I had to show my face, man.
Hold on, Rob, because I gotta make sure all the smoke is dewed out. So Ron has called Tatum lemon booty, I have called Tatum trash and a bum and overrated. What is your viewpoint of Jason Tatum as an NBA player?
I'll put Jason Tatum kind of in the Jimmy Butler category.
Ooh, you call him number 2.
He's a star, but he's not a superstar.
Nice. So Rob has gone on record. I want it on Rob and Frankie. You better put this in the damn chat like everybody else. I want it known that Rob called Jason Tatum a number 2 and not a number 1, and compared him to Jimmy Butler.
I didn't say he's a number 2.
Rob, I said Paul George. How you feel about that?
Oh, you know what?
Nah, don't do it, Rob. Don't do it, Rob. You're fine where you're at. You're fine where you're at. Do not disrespect him anymore. You're fine where you're at by putting him with Jimmy Butler.
But look at it from this perspective.
No,
Paul
don't do
George
it, Rob.
has led his team to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Reverend
He
Rob.
was with the Pacers.
Reverend Rob.
At one point in time, people thought Paul George was ready to take that step. He kind of took a step back, but he chose to do that playing under Kawhi. But I think that's a fair comparison.
No, it's not.
Because you could compare Paul George to Jimmy Butler. I think they all the same.
No, Paul George never reached the finals.
He don't
to
even
know what that tastes
finals.
Like. But he don't know what it tastes like to reach the championship level compared to what Jason Tatum did and Jimmy Butler. Both of them have reached the finals.
That's fair. That's fair too. But I don't think Jason Tatum would have reached the finals had Chris Middleton not been hurt.
Oh, yes.
Yep. You can compare this finals run to Paul George's run in 2014 when they went to 7 games with the Heat.
Damian, if Jimmy Butler was a superstar, he would have hit that 3.
Damn.
But if Jimmy Butler was a superstar, he would have won against the Lakers in 2020.
That's true. That's true now. That's true. Good points.
What? He lost Bam and Gorgon.
When? During the finals?
Yeah.
He didn't lose Bam.
He basically won it going 6 games. That shouldn't have been close.
I'm going to defend my team now. Don't you try. He did not lose Bam. The Lakers and AD just shut Bam down, and Bam became a little crybaby. And he
okay. Jay, I got a question for you now. Have you ever given the Heat an asterisk? Have you ever called them the bubble championship? Those words ever come out your mouth?
No.
Okay.
I never gave the Heat an asterisk per se.
Me neither. I just posed the question. I'm with you, Frankie. I got you. I hear you. No disrespect to LeBron. Better than Jordan.
I wouldn't say all that. Whoa. Ron, let's pump the brakes. All right. Let's pump the brakes.
I did it.
Are you being serious or was that a little joke? Because I can't right now. Like I feel like
you can't give me 3 reasons.
And you want to call LeBron better than Jordan.
I feel like you can't give me 3 reasons why Jordan's better than LeBron, especially without saying 6-0.
3 reasons?
Yeah.
Stats?
Nope.
In the stats in the tough era, you put LeBron in the tough era of basketball. LeBron will be gone. LeBron will be bullied. Chauncey Billups will bully big LeBron back in the day. Stop that talk right now, Ron. Stop that talk. And Jay knows it. You put LeBron back in the tough eras of the NBA, LeBron was crying like a little bitch. Excuse my language, but that's true talk.
Okay, what's point number 2?
Point number 2. Okay. Jordan still with one team and won all 6 championships in one team after leaving for a season or 2, and it came back.
That's great rest.
You want number 3?
Yes, sir.
Jordan's the fucking GOAT, Ron. Don't you ever disrespect him. I don't need another 3. All right? I don't need 3. It's Michael Dan Jordan. All right? Michael Jordan. Do you see LeBron dunking from the free throw line? No. Jordan was fucking angels on wings back when he was with Chicago, all right? Don't you disrespect MJ23 like that. Don't do it. He's the original spaceman.
Who said LeBron better than Mike?
Ron over here, he's like, give me 3 reasons. I'm like, bro, Stats prove it because LeBron put LeBron in a tough era of basketball when Jordan played. LeBron would have been crying like a little bitch. Excuse my language again. But LeBron would have been crying.
No, he would have been
gone. He would not have been successful.
He would have been successful, bro.
Rob, stop it. He would not.
Would have, man.
With Shaq, you got Shaq. You got
nothing like Shaq,
you got Dennis Rodman.
Nothing like LeBron. LeBron was built like Karl Malone, but ran like a guard, bro. Like is
he would have not been doing that against
LeBron
those big
would have
men.
been successful. He would have got now. They would have tried to bully him, but I think that would have toughened LeBron. I think LeBron would have bullied people back in that era.
No.
But but with me saying that, I'm not gonna say he's better than Mike. What does your eyeball test tell you? Look at Michael there. Look at LeBron. Who was clutch? Who made plays when they needed to happen?
Jordan had made so many clutch shots. It was stupid, man. Like literally, I will tell you this. Back in them days, because I remember watching the Utah Jazz series extremely close, and even all the series, honestly, that Jordan played in. And people feared the Bulls. They feared Jordan. You just kind of knew. You almost felt bad that Utah was going to lose to Jordan even before this series ever started. And it always came to fruition that the Bulls came out with glorious wins in all different fashions. And that fear I've never seen with LeBron James and a LeBron James-led team, as well as the fear that was instilled in a Jordan-led squad. That fear back in the day was real.
That's the difference. See, the league feared Michael Jordan. It was only two teams that feared LeBron. That was the Indiana Pacers and the Toronto Raptors.
Right.
That was it. Nobody else was scared of LeBron. And I think that's one of the biggest differences. Like, you listen to NBA players today talk about, stories, not even today. You listen to the players of the past tell stories today about what Mike done said or what Mike done did. Like, dude, they're still in awe of this man. Like, I can't believe I played on the opposite side of this dude. Like I was listening to Byron Scott tell a story. You know what I'm saying? This is a great Lakers legend. Byron Scott is a great player in his own right, but even he said he came into the arena. They saw Mike. Mike said, "Oh, what's wrong with you, man? You ain't guarding me tonight. So who guarding me tonight?" And he said that a random player was guarding him tonight. He was like, "Oh yeah, that's 50." And then the
thing about it is, what people don't understand.
He said Byron Scott said he went to the guy and told him, like, okay, so Mike said he gonna give you 50 tonight. Don't do anything to piss him off. Don't make him mad. And guess what? Mike ended up giving that man 54.
What people don't understand, and this is no knock on Pride, this is no knock on Freddie, but I've had this discussion with them before, and they've always said, Jay, I wasn't there, but I watched the videos, and I get it. You watching a video of Jordan is not the same as being in the time when he was actually physically playing and watching in the fear in people's eyes. You can't get that emotion off of watching a video. You had to be there and live in it. And I've lived through the Jordan era, and I've lived through the LeBron era, and the feeling is not even close when it comes to the dominance that Jordan exuded. And you can see it today. I mean, they weren't talking the way they were talking about Jordan when he was going through his championships, and the way that LeBron is being talked about going through it's not even close. Like, people had doubts about teams going against, or his team's going against their teams. I mean, it's not even, the feeling isn't even close, and that's the intangible X factor that you don't get from watching a video.
So, in other words, Jay is saying that's like comparing OnlyFans to actually being at the strip club. There's no comparison.
That's true. Yes. There's no damn compare. Thank you, Rob. That was the best example ever. I appreciate you. But I will say this, Rob. It has been said, and I don't know if Ron was the one that said it. Maybe it was Frankie, but it has been said that you are basically coming out of the closet and really showing that you're really a Golden State fan and not really a Chicago fan. It has been said.
I'm a Steph.
Jay, hold on, time out. That came out of Jay McLovin's mouth. He's trying to tell that shit over here. Ron said he knows that you're a Steph Curry guy. That's what he heard. And then Jay coming out, Jay over here trying to start some fire.
I am a Steph Curry guy. So in case this story has not been heard before, Everybody knows Kobe Bryant was my favorite player. That was the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew this about me. Family, friends.
Shout out to the Mamba.
When I saw Steph play at Davidson and he got to Golden State, and I want to say like his maybe third or fourth year after he got past those ankle injuries, I started to watch this kid play, man. And I'm like, this dude is amazing. You know, you can just see the development coming. And I said, once Kobe Bryant officially retires, Steph Curry will be my new favorite player. And I didn't choose another favorite player until Kobe said Mamba out. So when Kobe officially retired, Steph Curry became my new favorite player. I'm always going to ride with the Bulls because that's my hometown. You always ride with your home city. But if Chicago not in it, I'm riding with Steph.
That's not true.
Hey, real quick.
I live in New York. New York's my home city. Brooklyn, New York's my home city. You don't see me riding with Brooklyn, with the Brooklyn.
No, that's because you ride with the Yankees.
Hey, real quick, 2 points of interest. 2 points of interest. One is Gridiron Yuki. Yes, I am pretty old, Gridiron Yuki. But also, my wife has a request. Could you please stop putting pictures of girls in thongs and big booties in your stories? Because apparently, every time she opens up my Facebook, she sees your storyline and always has a big booty girl on there. So if you could just stop that, that would help my marriage out immensely. Secondly,
big booty girl.
Yuki, you need to. You gotta send me some of those, bro, privately. Like, what are you doing over there putting on your story?
Secondly, Frankie, I told you if you let a few F-bombs fly, Jay Ness was going to be here to curtail you. And sure enough, Jay Ness has showed up.
Listen, Jay Ness, Mr. CEO, he knows me better than anyone. We're like the brothers of 420, okay? And then you got Freddie, Mr. Principal. I always end up in his office. I told him, I'm Frankie C. I'm me. I understand we're on TV and stuff like that, but I gotta be me. I do some F-bombs, but I apologize for it. All right, I apologize. That's just how I am.
It's like you just can't apologize and then say it again.
Listen, find
Frankie,
me. I'm
we gotta
sorry.
we gotta get you a sensor, so you can beep beep.
I know, man. Hey, I need a we need. That's a bad thing about being live. You know, you never know when to hit the beat just right.
Right. I have a question for everybody, especially since Jay just went at Rob for having a new favorite player.
Uh-oh.
No, and he's not a Chicago Bull. But the state of the NBA and where we are at, if we look at what we have in front of us, I think the front runners of the NBA are on our way out. And I feel as if since the bubble, the NBA has been looking for a person to take the torch, to take the baton. And, without me going too far in my conspiracy theories, I really think the Giannis and the Luka the last 3 years has been an NBA push for the baton in a sense of just like the NFL. They're going overseas. They're playing games in Mexico City. They're playing games in London.
Germany.
Yeah, they're in Germany. They're going to be in Ghana next month.
Ghana? Are they is going to Ghana?
Yeah, the NFL is.
The NFL. I'm sorry. I didn't hear about them going to Ghana.
They're not playing a game in Ghana. They're doing some huge event in Ghana with trying to connect the kids. And,
kind of like what they did with Germany.
Right. The preparation. It's the preparation they did with Germany, and they did that like 2 years in a row. And then the third year, this is the third year, Germany, they got a game. So, but back to my question about the NBA for everybody on the panel, who do you guys believe is really the next front runner to take the baton and actually be that guy, that Steph, that Kobe,
I love it. I love it.
That Bron?
I'm not on camera, but my hand is raised because I love it. I love that you said that. Right now, I'm not a Memphis fan, but I am a huge John Moran guy. I love John Moran. And I think if John Moran can fix a little bit of himself, I think John Moran can actually be the future and join Luka and Giannis in that category.
It's funny you say that. First of all, Frankie, Giannis is not in this category to me. And the reason why, Giannis is an in-betweener. Giannis was in between the LeBron and the new era.
Okay.
Giannis was he was big in the wrong era because he was big in the era where LeBron was still the man. He's big in the era where Steph is still the man. And I don't think he's going to get that baton by the time that these guys, I think they got about 3 more years of real holding it down. I don't think that Giannis is going to get the baton because he's going to be too old by that time. And that's not going to be the evolution that the NBA is going to be pushing towards. You know what I mean? They want
I don't think you can necessarily say that though, because let's say Golden State wins this year. Steph, of course, is going to reclaim his spot as the face of the league. But if Golden State will win this year, next year in the finals, which is very plausible, and Milwaukee wins, Giannis retakes the throne just like that.
But we're talking about guys who are already at the throne status. We're talking about like Larry Bird versus Magic in that sense.
Yeah,
I'm saying
I think those days are kind of over. They're going to show Giannis and Luka just because of the overseas aspect, because they want to promote more players from overseas to come play. And as we can see in the Olympics and we can clearly see in the NBA, that gap is small now. The United States is not that much better than everybody else. It's some great guys that's playing over here that's from different countries. So I think they will always have that aspect going in their favor. But I think it really comes down to who's winning at the time. That's who's gonna get the commercials. That's who's gonna have their face plastered everywhere. For a minute, everybody forgot about Steph Curry. Now we see him pop back up because he's winning. Winning dictates so much.
But Rob, to that point, if you look, and Devin, I love Devin Booker. This would probably be the only negative type of phrase I give to Devin, but Devin don't got that. Devin don't have, he has the charm, he has he can be on camera and things like that, but he don't have that. And there's not many that have it. Like, I don't think Kobe had it at first. Kobe was a quiet.
Kobe grew into that.
I think Kobe imitated Mike too much.
He grew into it.
And
Correct.
then he started to add Kobe.
When you had big brother Shaq.
You got to see Kobe. Now, I don't think it came after Shaq. I think it honestly came when Kobe had to turn on the personality, when the world turned against him because of those charges.
Yeah,
so,
Colorado.
He had to kill on the basketball court, and he had to put on the smile, in which he started to see maybe letting people in is not as bad as I thought. Sometimes you got to fake the funk.
Kobe Bean Bryant came after Colorado.
Correct. That's when everybody got introduced to the Mamba.
Right. And that's the thing, too. When I look at Giannis, Giannis has the charisma. Giannis doesn't have that dog. Like, when I get in front of the camera, it's me. I'm doing whatever it's me. And I think that Jason Tatum is one person that is high up on my list that I think can swindle that. Jason has the
shut up, Jay. Jay, shut your mouth, Jay.
Was that a light skin?
He might even give you the interview.
Was that a light skin?
But his play. Hold on, he's not a light. Hold on, now. Hey. No, listen. He might even give you an interview, but Tatum's play is still like Jimmy Butler-esque, like Rob put it. He's not that. He's not the face. There's no way in hell his play is good enough to be the face of the NBA. Hell no. But I will say this. Nobody's ever going to be a Mamba. They ain't never going to be another Mamba. The way he did interviews, the way he had swag, that's just not going to happen. And another Jordan, there's never going to be another Jordan the way he did things. But I will say this, in terms of a face of the NBA or a superstar level caliber player who does amazing things and puts up the stats and stuff, I think Luka has got to be the next big thing. I don't know if his all-around game is just amazing, and he does have that smile that people gravitate towards.
I'll tell you this, Jay.
And I can't even agree with the Giannis thing because Giannis is cracking me up with the dad jokes, and like he has a personality. If you watch him doing those post-game conferences and stuff like that, Giannis is funny.
Well, I'll tell you this, Jay. Nobody's gonna be the Mamba. Right.
I agree. I agree with you. I'm just saying I think the next players to take the torch is going to be Giannis and Luka. And probably John Moran, if John Moran can develop an outside shot, and probably take his game to another level. But I think Luka is just the guy that's going to be the true face, I think, of the NBA. And I hate to say that because I want to see an American-born player be the face of the NBA, but I just don't see that happening.
Right, but I'm going to be real with you guys. You put me in the NBA right now, right? You put me in the NBA, growing up watching Kobe and what he did, bro, I'll bring that Mamba in there. I'll be the next one. Matter of fact, no, because of my skin color, I'm going to be the next
Devin
Cobra.
Booker tried to.
I'm going to be the next Cobra just because of my skin color. You can't call me the next Mamba.
He said
But you
Cobra.
put me in, yeah, that's right. I'm the next Cobra, baby.
But see, and this is my thing, though, guys. This is my thing. I'll start with John Morant. John Morant reminds me a lot of Donnie Mitchell. Donnie Mitchell came in kind of like John Morant did with the athleticism, the way he's taking over the game, the way he's doing his thing. The thing to me, have you? By the way, before I go further, has any of you watched the series, the Magic series?
I've seen a couple episodes. I got to still catch up.
So you've seen the first 2 episodes?
Yeah,
it's incredible. 10 out of 10.
It's amazing, by the way. So even on the Magic series, if you've seen the NBA's presence of Magic grew bigger than Magic's presence of Magic did. And Magic had to catch up to where the NBA had placed him, where the fans had placed him. And I think that if we look at Jordan, same thing happened. If we look at Kobe, the same thing happened. And if we look at LeBron, I'll take LeBron and Melo. LeBron and Melo had the same introduction. But LeBron had to catch up to where the NBA and the fans and everybody else placed him. And I don't see that from Ja. I see Ja trying to propel himself. And I think Giannis had the same thing when he came in. Giannis, young dude, running around, and the NBA and the fans placed him higher than where he thought he was. He had to catch up mentally. So that's where I think Jason Tatum's on his way to that. Because you guys said it yourself, this playoffs, he kind of disappeared in this last round, and in spots, and where we were expecting him to be, where the fans, where the players, where the league was expecting him to play at the level he was, it wasn't there. And I think that he is going to come out next year. He even said it how many times? He didn't mention Mamba. How many times?
Yeah. A lot.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I mean, that's the story. That's the story I see all on Facebook and everything.
But I got to issue a quick apology. Gridiron Yuki, I'm sorry, it wasn't you. It was Gridiron King on my Facebook. I apologize. I guess the Gridiron was what I copped onto. It was Gridiron King that had the pictures that my wife was killing me on. So I apologize, Yuki. It wasn't you. It was Gridiron King. Simple mistake.
My apologies. He's a San Francisco 49er fan. He got
let you add it, but it won't let
but
you
I will say this. To me personally, I think winning always is going to play a key in how you're marketed in any sport. If you don't, I mean, it's either going to be winning or it's going to be the perception that you can win. Like, remember in the NFL with Robert Griffin III, how he was promoted so much as the face of the NFL until we actually saw him play. And then when we saw him play, he slowly disappeared from those subway.
It didn't match up.
You know, so it's to me, it's always going to be the perception of winning. Are you winning, or do we think you can win?
No.
And I don't think the Joker will ever be the face of the NBA because he doesn't have the personality. He doesn't have the look. See, what a lot of people don't understand is this is what Jay means when he says it. You got to have the look, the personality. You got to the charisma. It's almost like you're building a wrestler.
Right.
Pretty much. Absolutely.
You got to be able to cut
it. You have the entertainment side, but you also have to have a skill set. And the skill set and the entertainment side have to match up to really be the face of the NBA or whatever you want to call it.
Can you cut a promo?
Yeah, I mean, look at Shaq. To this day,
you cut a promo?
People say, "Can you dig it?" To this day, are you not entertained? You know, Shaq made having fun cool in the NBA. Right. Everybody didn't have to be Kobe. Everybody didn't have to be Mike. You can still win and be a Shaq. LeBron made it cool to be prestigious, to already come in and hold yourself at a higher level than everybody. You're not gonna treat me like you treat this dude. This dude didn't come straight out of high school. This dude wasn't called the chosen one. This dude didn't actually do what he said he was gonna do. I mean, he didn't disappoint. LeBron had so much at stake coming in the league out of high school, and he did not disappoint. He was not overhyped. You could believe what you read about that man. So
I have a question for Ron.
Cool Ron down there, my boy.
I'm gonna switch gears and throw it in Ron's direction. I'm gonna ask you about Damian Lillard.
Ooh.
And the reason I'm gonna ask you about Damian is because out of everybody we've talked about, I think it was Damian's baton to take. And I think that Portland that situation. And that's my question to you. How much do you think his dedication and loyalty to Portland hurt his career and where it could have been, or lowered his ceiling, perhaps?
Wow. I don't feel like his legacy has been hurt because he was so loyal to Portland. Like, it made him special. And like you said, the baton was there for him to take. So we're still there. And Dame is still being stubborn. Why are you being voiceless about what's going on in Portland? Like, not even saying come out and asking for a trade. Like, that's what we want him to do. But he doesn't even come out and say, we need to do something, we need to do this, we need to do that. Like, he was at the draft lottery, just looking like a sad puppy. No thoughts, no comments. Like, dang, what's up? However, where my Laker fans at, Frankie? There's gonna be a lot of pieces. There's gonna be a lot of pieces moving this summer. Like, me and Jay was talking about it all morning. And
yeah.
He's gonna watch all these power get built. He's gonna have to come out and say it, because there's literally nothing Portland can do. And every other team this summer is gonna be getting bulkier and stronger, trying to compete with the Warriors in the finals MVP Steph. So, and back to the baton, we have to say Steph has it. He took it from LeBron, and no one really is ready. I agree, Luka's next up, but Steph might win definitely 3 more titles. He's 34. He got 6 prime years left.
I don't know, but I kind of think Steph is nothing. I think Steph's a great player. Don't get me wrong; he's definitely in that type of category. But I think Steph is kind of faded down a little bit. I just don't see it. I mean, look, let's be honest. Luka outscored Steph this year in the playoffs. Matter of fact, Luka actually points per game.
Points
per game has actually surpassed Jordan.
Not
in total games, but.
What if Steph is still the mega superstar that he's always been, and the material around him has downgraded? Let's talk about Klay Thompson's numbers. Where Andrew Wiggins been at in the finals? Andrew Wiggins, what happened? You're gonna have one great game in the entire playoffs run? The Warriors was expecting him to show up. Draymond Green still looking like a defensive player a year, so it's Steph and the Draymond show.
And that's the thing too. Not to interrupt you, Ron, but where you're going with this is very, 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 very on point.
Yes, Jordan Poole hasn't been all that either.
Because look, if you look at, I'll take Dame and I'll take Steph. Actually, as far as production, we can look at them and compare these two. They're very capable of doing what the other does. And if you look at Dame versus Steph, and you remove names from around them, just remove names, not playing capabilities, names. If you remove names, Steph has done more with what he's had. And that's the thing that people don't understand. You can have a team. What are you going to do with it? Luka just scored 40.
Could you imagine what Luka could do with that team? No, look what Luka done with the team he has.
No, hear me out. This is what I'm explaining to you. This is I'm going actually at your point about Luka. This is what I'm bringing up. So Luka scored 40 and 50 points in a playoff game. And those 40 and 50 points, he lost. I think he maybe won one game where he scored 40 points or more in the playoffs this year, outside of the first round. So when you look at that, you look at Steph. Steph don't have to score 50. He will, but he don't have to because he gets Clay involved. He gets Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole ain't shooting like that playing for no other team. I promise you. He ain't
ultimate green light.
I don't think he can promise that. I don't think he can promise that because I think he can do the same thing with Luka on Dallas. I don't think that's necessarily a fair statement.
I think he could, but people got to realize though, Steve Kerr, gave him the confidence. Like when you give a player the green light to say that you can shoot what you want to shoot, don't worry about being benched. Don't worry about coming out the game because you missed a couple shots. That takes so much pressure off a player. I don't know if every coach is going to do that.
And name me another team in the league that's practicing half-court shots.
But come on, I think the half-court shot is a little unrealistic. I don't care how many shots you take on that. It's still a very low percentage.
I won't even go as far as the half-court shot. Look at he's taking Steph shots.
That's what I'm saying. They're practicing.
He's taking Steph shots, bro. He's not shooting right at the line. He is 3, 4, 5 feet behind the three-point line.
Yeah, no, those are 100% a result of sparring with someone that does that. And so that's if you're a fighter and you're going against a guy that throws great hooks, you go spar against a guy that throws great hooks.
And that's a great point because remember, they got a little internal competition just with the free throw situation.
So
like Jordan Poole reminded him, like, hey, remember, I led the league in free throw percentage this year.
So you guys got to remember, like, what Rob was
Hold on, Rob Scott. You made a statement. You said that Curry, you say go out there and shoot as many shots. You get your 50. But the last game he played, he shot 9 of fucking 21.
Ooh,
so don't tell me he can just go out there. Don't tell me on a given night he can just give you 50 because that's bullshit.
No, Jay, that's not what I was saying.
But he could give you 50 on any given night.
Yeah,
but if he takes about 50 shots.
But wait, no, that's not what I was saying, Jay.
No. What I'm saying is he went 9 of 21 in game 2. So he's not going to give you 50 on 9 of 21.
No, hold on. What I'm saying is, if Steph scores 50, there's a problem.
Yeah, I get that. That's true. That is a problem.
Either it's a problem or he just caught the Holy Ghost.
Right. Because he doesn't shoot like that. He'll have 40 on 13 shots. So the problem that we're looking at here is, bro, when we're talking about Luka has to demand the game so much on his team that no one else can get involved. Draymond is one, to me, he don't have, if I gave Draymond an offensive grade, I'm giving him a D+. But playing next to Clay, playing next to Steph, playing next to everybody else, he looks fully capable of running the offense.
Well,
thank you, bro. Jay, I've been trying to explain that to people so much because people don't understand. I'm not saying that if you take Draymond and put him on the Orlando Magic, that he's going to change lives for them.
Nope.
But for what the Warriors do in the system that they run, he is so perfect for that system. I don't see the Warriors winning without a Draymond.
Nope.
Look at the space he gives Steph Curry, the space he gives Clay.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
The fact that they're in sync, the dribble handoffs, the way, like to me personally, as much as I love Steph Curry, he plays better when Draymond is on the court.
But also that's experience, though, right? That's also experience of Draymond, Clay, and Steph playing together for so long that they're able to do that because that's that chemistry that allows them because they know what each one needs to do to help the other one out. That experience really comes into play as well.
Can I ask a serious question? I got a serious question.
Crazy.
So if the Warriors win this one, right? If the Warriors win this championship, and this one is mainly to Rob because he's a Warriors guy /
a Steph guy.
No, you're a Warriors guy / Bulls guy. But real question: if the Warriors win the championship, should they consider at least getting a trade for Klay Thompson after the injury and how he's looking? Should they split the Splash Brothers, because we all know we've seen
If they
you know,
win,
we've seen stuff like that happen. We've seen Shaq get traded away. LeBron James, gets away from the big three of Miami Heat. So we've seen players break up. Is it the time for the Warriors to step away from Klay Thompson, get something for the future, just because how Klay Thompson's been looking? Is it that time to split up the Splash Brothers? At least keep Draymond, but split up the Splash Brothers.
I think you give Klay a full year before you start thinking that
Okay, cool. Yeah, any kind of details
out the box of saying maybe it's time to split up the Splash Brothers. You still have to remember Klay came in, he only played half a season, and then he went right into playoff basketball. He just missed 2 years. So I say you have to give him at least a year of a full season, see what he can do, see if he can get hot again, see how that defense, if his defensive tendency can ramp back up. Because right now he's not the same Klay that he used to be, but nobody expected him to be. Not after 2 years.
How old is Klay, fellas?
I think he's younger than Steph. I can Google it right now. I think I want to say he's younger than Steph, because Steph is the big brother to all of them. Honestly,
I want to crack at this when you're done.
Go ahead, bro.
So, absolutely not.
32 years old. He's not old.
Absolutely, that should be the last thing on their mind, is getting rid of any of them three. Here's the thing about it. At this point, you guys, they didn't already put in enough work to where when it's time, they can go one by one. All right, yo, it's time for you to take a pay cut. All right, yo, it's time for you to take a pay cut. All right, yo, it's time. They can go to each one of them. This ain't no fabricated team. This ain't no squad that had to get together and talk about it and say who's gonna be the leader. Well, what are we gonna do when this happens? This ain't Miami.
Okay.
This ain't none of that.
I get it, Jay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Like, at the end of the day, Klay Thompson can come off the bench for 4 more years as a spot up shooter and a 3-and-D guy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And to Jay's point, I think he loves Golden State enough to realize maybe I do come off the bench.
Where's he gonna go at this point? What legacy he gonna build?
He has a legacy
Lakers.
already, and I think at this point,
Lakers.
Klay loves his brothers. Like, and think about it from this aspect that Golden State is allowing him, even though they can clearly see what we see, that Klay has kind of, went backwards in who he was in production. Golden State is still saying, Klay, shoot the ball.
Didn't Vince Carter have
Who
a
else
whole
going to shoot it? Andrew Wiggins
on his offense?
What you say, Jay?
I said, didn't Vince Carter have a whole reconcile on the way his game played?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did.
Didn't Joe Johnson have a 3.0?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Klay Thompson's not them.
I don't think if they get a championship this year, which it looks like they most likely should get it. If they get a championship this year, I don't think they break it. I think they try to ride it as long as they can, as long as they're winning championships. I don't think you get off that bus.
I mean, that's the smart thing to do, because even though Klay has not been the same Klay, Klay has shown up when they counted. When it's time to close teams out, Klay said, "Don't worry. Let me remind people who I am."
What we call him now?
We call him closeout Klay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir. What's up, Ron?
I agree. I agree with all of you. So I should expect to see closeout Klay at least one game in these finals, right?
Man, closeout Klay gonna be here in game 5.
Ron, okay. That's a loaded question because I don't know about that.
He gonna show up in game 5 because it's Warriors in 5.
That's not even my point, because I agree with y'all. However, Jay, what's been the hottest player rumored to be traded this offseason?
Klay.
DeAndre Ayton.
No.
Exactly.
I'm just taking shots at you, Jay.
No.
You said Zach LaVine. Okay.
I said Zach LaVine.
Zach, maybe Donovan Mitchell.
It's been DeAndre, and it's been Utah.
Yep, Donovan Mitchell. And I don't want us to sleep on on a Zion.
I was gonna say Kyrie too.
Kyrie, I don't put him in this.
Man,
group.
Zion gonna stay in New Orleans.
Nobody really wants Kyrie like that.
Our personal machine stat guy did mention that the Lakers and Nets they're going to plan something where the Nets get Russell Wilson.
If one of those three players, Zion, Donovan Mitchell, and what was the other one?
Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine.
I don't know
LaVine,
about Zach. I don't know about Zach, but if one of those, and I'll throw Bradley Beal in there.
What about Kevin Durant?
If one of those three guys, why wouldn't the Warriors? It would be irresponsible of them to not flirt with a trade for a Bradley Beal, giving up Clay and a draft pick in Kuminga.
I get what you're saying, but even now, I'll take Clay's defense now over Bradley Beal. Scoring is not their problem.
Donovan Mitchell as well.
Rob.
Donovan Mitchell, I'll consider, but Bradley Beal to me, he a little overrated.
Wait. Rob, I'd agree with you up until this playoff series. Andrew Wiggins is a better defender than Klay Thompson today.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Bradley Beal.
I know
Andrew Wiggins. Now, Andrew Wiggins is proving himself, but Andrew Wiggins has always been a defender.
And I'm glad that you said that, Jay. I'm glad you said that about Andrew Wiggins because I've read something earlier that Golden State might actually put Andrew Wiggins on the trade block after this offseason if they win a championship.
And they
guys think
he's expendable, bro. He ain't nothing but a better Harrison Barnes.
No, wait. That's disrespectful. Andrew Wiggins is not being utilized. Andrew Wiggins is stuck in a place where his talents are superior than his position on the team. And I think that Andrew Wiggins, that's why he's struggling, because he doesn't know how to contain himself within the offense. Andrew's used to being a 1-2 option, not no 5.
So would you think if they're going to put him in a trade block, do you see something like Andrew Wiggins goes to Utah and teams with Rudy to where Donovan Mitchell ends up going and teaming with Steph?
No, I could see the opposite. I could see Andrew Wiggins being involved in a trade for Rudy. I don't think he'd be, unless you're pairing Andrew and a Kuminga and a couple of first round picks for Donnie. But other than that, for Donnie, you got to be like Clay, Jordan Poole, and a first or some bullshit for Donnie, bro.
Right. Okay.
You better put the bagel with the cream cheese and you have some crepes on the way or something.
Oh, some jelly on that cream cheese with the bagel.
Right. For Donnie? No, but
hey, so they asked the question: what do y'all think about Phil Knight potentially buying the Portland Trailblazers?
Not gonna happen. It's not even news. It's not gonna happen.
You don't think that'll happen?
Not at all.
That's why it's not gonna happen, because Portland is ass. Nobody wants to own an ass team. One,
he owns part of the Dodgers. Like it ain't gonna happen. For logistically, the NBA is gonna be like, nah. And then secondly,
Nike is that.
Yeah, that part kind of helped them because Oregon is big in Nike. That's a huge draw for them. But I really think at the end of the day, they're not selling Portland. There's too much stuff going on. They're too involved in the media right now with all this, Damian Lillard stuff. Like, for them to be such a small market and get talked about as much as they are right now, I don't see the ownership selling.
Oh, it's going to be so amazing when breaking news break out that Damian Lillard joins the Lakers. I can't wait.
Oh, Lord.
My bad. Did I say that out loud? I thought I was saying that in my head.
It's got to be like he's on Get Out. Like, they gave away Dame. Dame went and
wasn't there a rumor out there that Russell Westbrook might get traded for Kyrie Irving?
Yeah, there was a rumor that they were going to do a reunion with Russell Westbrook going back with KD to Brooklyn and Kyrie coming to team with LeBron in LA.
No. Check this
out.
I don't think it's going to happen.
You worry about James Harden. Don't worry about my Lakers.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Don't worry about it.
It has to be a 3-way trade, and y'all know who has to get involved on it. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
OKC.
Don't worry about it.
Calling them up. Hey, you guys can take Russell Westbrook back, homecoming for the end of his career. Kyrie rejoined with LeBron. Westbrook ain't going to play with KD.
Fuck
KD's vetoing that.
Excuse my French, but if you add OKC to that, Ron, I'm taking Shea Alexander to LA. Forget
Facts.
that, Kyrie. You stay where the heck you
They're
are.
not
Give
giving
me
him
Shea.
up.
Give me Shea, bro.
He's
Ron
the
is just
cornerstone
upset
of
because he has to deal with Doc Rivers and James Harden for another
no.
year.
No, Shea is the cornerstone of their rebuild.
Yeah.
They just need one more star to pair with them, and with all these other teams in the West.
Shea's
And
the
this-
undercover Pataner to me.
Right.
He's the one that has the talent. He's the one that has a lot of shit that he doesn't get emphasized yet because of where he's at and what's going on in the NBA. But when Shea gets his break, Shea Alexander's nice, bro.
So let me get this right. Right now. On ASAP in the morning at 11:38 in the morning. You guys are saying if we get rid of Russell Westbrook and get that one good piece, the Lakers can be something again?
No.
I just heard it.
Like that.
No, Jay, shut your mouth, Jay.
No.
I heard it out of Ron's mouth himself.
Frankie,
yes, they
it still comes down to Glassman, who I heard got injured
That's
yesterday.
where I'm at. It's still the injury and the old age and Braun that I think hurts them. Not that LeBron is.
Don't
Braun
worry
is
about
playing
LeBron.
good football,
Don't worry, it's not LeBron. Don't worry about LeBron. He's getting a full off-season rest that he deserves.
It's not LeBron.
Yeah, he's still old though.
Anthony Davis's bones are made out of water. They're so elusive. They just move around in his body as they please. Fucking.
The Lakers need number one. The Lakers need number one.
Now. I'm saying it right now to all you watchers that are commenting and saying no. The Lakers are going to be the 2022-2023 champions. Damn it!
No.
Early prediction.
If I'm the Lakers, honestly, if you get rid of Westbrook and maybe get your hands on Gobert.
No, what?
I would say. Now, look, I'm not the biggest Rudy fan, but I think Rudy fits what the Lakers are.
We do need a big man in case of Anthony Davis do get hurt.
You don't need big man. You got Anthony Davis. He can.
I'm gonna tell you something though.
All you need is somebody like Rudy that's gonna protect the paint, rebound the ball, and catch lobs. That's all you need. That's the only thing you need from your center.
Rudy lost his chance to play in LA when he touched the mics on the bubble.
That's true.
LA would have beat it. The fans would have beat him up.
Yuki, I do ride on the Lakers, brother. I ride on the Lakers super hard, but I'm not a Freddie. I mean, I'm a diehard Laker fan, but I'm not Freddie. All right, I know when my team is done, and I accept it. So Freddie, he continues on. So when you see us in here at ASAP, and Freddie's in here, Freddie gets all the smoke from the Lakers. I'm in the corner like, Freddie, you deserve this. You deserve all this smoke, Freddie, because you put our team on another.
Freddie does, man.
Freddie
don't get enough smoke. I think Freddie needs more smoke, honestly.
Freddie looks at me and he's like, Frankie, you're not a true Laker man. And I am a true Laker man, but I'm also a true NBA fan where I witness when my team loses, all right? Kind of like Jay Ness when he knew that the Suns screwed up in Game 7 against the Dallas Mavericks. Like, he knew it. Jay knows.
I knew it in Game 3.
Rockets, like
the way we lost Game 3, I told y'all shit was gonna be bad. Look at
Freddie. Your name is always mentioned. That's right.
Frankie, hey, you know what? Freddie's that fly in the wall and nobody knows is there, and he just transfers. He's like Ant-Man. He's just sitting there and listening, and then all of a sudden, I'm here. Like, well, where?
Hey, Freddie. The Warriors are gonna win. In case you didn't know, do you want to join the bandwagon?
He's going there next. That's close to the Rams. You know he just got off the plane down there.
Oh, nice.
No, I thought he was making other stops before going to LA. I thought he was stopping in Jersey, then going to Wisconsin.
You done summoned Candy, man.
No, but it's true, right, Freddie? I'm not trying to say nothing bad about your name, Freddie. I'm not trying to say nothing bad about you. All I'm saying is, me and you were diehard Laker fans, but you take it to another level where, like, me, I accepted it when I seen that we were out of the play, and I'm like, all right, we're not even playing good. I know we're not going to make the playoffs, whatever, on to next year, right? Freddie, on the other hand, like 6 games left into the season. We're going to win these 6 games, and we're going to come back into play, and I'm like, Freddie, cool it, bro. We're not even playing that good.
Hey,
Yuki, he doesn't know about the rivalry. He's a new Rams fan.
Hey, Freddie went from calling LeBron the GOAT to hating that man.
Anyways, so back to the conversations we was having, because here comes Freddie with the nonsense. This is why we say, guys, that
We love you,
Freddie
Freddie.
deserves the heat
He's
because
such a recent Ram fan that every time I say Freddie, Patriots 2, Rams 0 in the Super Bowl, he's like, man, it's 0-0 to me.
yep, he's 2 days old in LA. No, but
Yeah, next year. I'm saying next year. I'm not saying I wasn't saying it like 6 games left in the season. I'm early predicting my team that we're winning the next year.
Yeah,
I
y'all
agree.
not, but it's okay.
I agree. He got op status day one when he said LA. I said, what? You went to where? From New York? Oh, that don't even sound right. We already had beef with you before you came. I don't even know how you got to the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? So, no, but at the end of the day, though, on your note, Frankie, what you were saying, and right along with Ron too, I think even when I switch gears and I look at Phoenix, like we're kind of in a stuck situation because we can't get rid of Chris Paul at this point. But at the age Chris Paul is at, I would like to start transitioning away from him. So our number one goal this year is backup point guard. Backup point guard is our number one position. And
yeah,
if we don't
forgetting
address
bench is I'm sorry, Jay, but people are forgetting bench are a big part of your team as well.
Well, because you guys got to understand, this ain't football and this ain't baseball. We got 12 real players on our squad. Your farm league is also there. Like they're trying to develop the G League, but your farm league is on your bench. So I'm looking at Cameron Payne. I love him. He's cool, ball energy to have to insert into your squad. But at the end of the day, he's not my starting point guard. He ain't what we transitioning into.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You look at Aaron Holiday. No.
No. He ain't Drew.
I love Aaron. I love him. Focus on a backup. No, see now that's just he just trying to draw some blood. See, the thing about it is you have to make that move. CP3, in the way that the organization, in the way the NBA is set up, he's done at all those check marks where his money is at a minimum. Period. At a minimum. So you're gonna have to, whoever team he's on. So just like Devin Booker, we're gonna have to extend him this year. We just paid him a year ago.
This question to you though. If CPD does leave your team, does that not put you guys back in rebuild mode?
Not in rebuild because he is an asset.
I think he's the asset though.
No.
You guys wasn't where you guys were at until CP3 got there.
Truth. But also remember the age group we have. Look at our nucleus. Okay. McCall Bridges just got his extension last year off his rookie deal because he just hit his fourth year. Deandre Ayton, this is his fourth year.
But how do you feel about DeAndre Ayton? Because I think DeAndre Ayton is still kind of one of the things that holds that team back. Because I don't think he's strong enough in the paint, for me personally, to really think that he's truly the guy.
No, he's not holding them back. If you really look at Jay,
he
can be dominant. Look what he did, taking them to the finals the year before.
He didn't take them to the finals.
He helped them take them to the finals.
He was there,
bro.
That's what I'm letting Frankie say. But I agree with you.
What Frankie's saying is 1,000% true. DeAndre Ayton had one of the best big man performances in the history of the playoffs. Go look it up.
And then he met Giannis.
Well, that's Giannis. That's why we talked about earlier with Baton.
And that was the reason. DeAndre Ayton is the reason I predicted Dallas to beat Phoenix. Because I knew Luka is going to exploit the hell out of that matchup.
But Ayton did not give up on Phoenix, and he didn't do none of that. He just didn't. He want his money,
motor, bro. I'm not questioning his game. DeAndre Ayton can play, and we're saying if you're looking at this basketball player based off what you know about basketball, is he a great player? He can play the game.
James
I question
his game.
motor. I question his will to win. He gives up, bro. He should have dominated Dallas, bro.
And he should have got paid.
He should have dominated.
I want you to understand.
I'm sorry, excuse my language, but they got Dwight Powell. They got
Stop right there.
Maxi Kleber.
Stop right
Come
there.
on, bro.
Stop right there. Here's the thing about DeAndre Ayton. There's two things, and I don't think we take these into account. First of all, the Suns' run was way too early for us to have the nucleus that we have. Every one of our guys, besides Chris Paul and Jay Crowder, were on freaking rookie contracts. They're all young. Devin Booker was on his second. So our nucleus is we're going through the teaching stage. We're going through the learning stage.
Of
If you think
learning
about-
each other, but him not learning his game. I'm talking
we're-
about
we're
as an individual, bro. If I'm a center and I'm going against a team that their biggest player is the white pal, I am thinking to myself, I'm going to Chris Paul myself. I'm going to Devin Booker myself. The first 5 plays need to run through me.
They do
We need
that.
to establish my dominant. No, they don't. They
But
don't.
here's
Jay-
the thing, though, Rob. He don't play well against physical players. He's not that guy. You can't just say, okay, you need to be that guy today. He's not that guy.
So that's not a guy that you have question marks around? Because besides Devin Booker
that's
and
different.
DeAndre Ayton, who else do y'all got on y'all team?
That's different. Whoa, don't forget McCall Bridges. Please don't do that.
Yeah, Bridges is okay. He didn't even show up, bro.
McCall Bridges
He was a
not there
defensive
scoring.
player of the year candidate, and Luka murdered that man.
He's in the class of like Maxey, Jordan Poole, Halliburton.
Who, McCall?
Yes, bro.
No, McCall's on the Marcus Smart tip.
Man, no, Marcus
They're
Smart.
not
actually-
there to
There's
score.
potential. There's potential.
They're not there to score like that. They're gonna
Jay,
give
look
you
what
10,
you-
12
So
points.
Jay, I hear what you're saying. So
Power.
my question is, I feel you, dog. My question is, how many titles does Booker win then? What is
For
your
his legacy?
expectations? Yeah, because with Chris Paul there, exclamation point there. Because you're
I don't
sounds
think
like
he
you're
wins one
saying
with
we
Chris
should.
Paul. I don't
Okay.
think
He'll
he wins
win at
one with
least
Chris Paul.
2.
I'm gonna get that out the way. I think that we go 3 more years of this struggle. Chris Paul retires. During that process, we pick up another guard that lets Chris Paul transition to the bench. And I think we honestly win the year after Chris Paul retires. So I give us 4 years.
You really think the Suns are gonna keep Chris Paul that long?
Right, even I
Yeah.
looked at the screen like this, bro. You think that they're gonna win after Chris Paul leaves?
Yeah.
Who were the Suns before he got there?
I mean,
But
hold
we're-
on, Rob.
But that's-
You guys are forgetting that before Chris Paul got there in the bubble, and everybody wants to talk about the bubble don't count.
Thank
and
you,
stuff like
Frankie.
that. The bubble.
Yeah, they went
This
undefeated
team,
in the
Devin
bubble,
Booker, They
bro.
went 8-0 with Ayton and
I
Booker.
get you, bro, but and that still didn't get them in the playoffs because they were that bad before the bubble, bro.
But
That's what
but
y'all
can I ask you a
forgetting. You
question?
forgetting pre-bubble. I'm not
Can I
even
ask-
talking about the previous season. I'm talking about during that same season, bro. They were that
They
bad
fought
that
their
when
way
they
back
got
into
to
the
the
play-in.
bubble,
They fought their way back
they
to try
fought their way
come.
back to try to get in the play-in.
Okay, let me
They
ask you
didn't
this.
make it.
Rob, let me ask you this. Because what Frankie's trying to say is exactly what I'm getting at. How did Golden State, how are they able to draft Draymond 1 year, Clay 1 year, and Steph 1 year?
They
in a
were
row?
rebuilding. They have
No,
it was in the process
But they
of
were
letting go
in the
Steven
bottom,
Jackson.
right?
Steph's
They
ankles.
were in the process of letting go Matt Barnes and that I Believe team, letting go of Monte Ellis. They were in the process of rebuilding. And
They
that's
were at
what
the
I'm
bottom.
saying for Phoenix. Phoenix
But-
are going to get great draft picks because after CP3 leave, y'all, Phoenix is no longer going to be in the playoffs.
No.
I'm sorry.
I think it's different. I think before we got CP3, we had that. That's how we were able to go number 1 pick, DeAndre Ayton. We were able to go top 15,
I'm gonna check
McCall
and see this
Bridges.
on the basement.
We were able to grab Cam Johnson. We have those young
Yeah, we
guys.
did.
So
Let me check
now,
if it's hold on. Let me check if it's on.
put it on mute. Put it on mute. And then now we can progress with that squad. We have a nucleus. You know what I'm saying? So now we're gonna get better. We're gonna get seasoned. These dudes were young. They're all wet behind their ears the last couple years.
So do you
Chris
think
Paul-
Devin Booker could, if it went to eventually at some point CP3 is going to have to leave? I mean, he's going to get.
Right.
I mean, he's already old as dirt. So what I'm saying is, when CP3 does leave, Booker should most likely still be there. Can he be the leader for that team?
And that's why I said, Jay, I believe that we'll win one right after Chris Paul retires. And I think the leadership skills that these guys are learning, the McCall Bridges, you're seeing it. Yeah, we didn't win last year, this year. You know what I mean? Like, it happens. But the leadership skills that everybody on this panel has seen from the Suns in the last 2 years from that team is a completely different team. The way they act, the way they move, the way they are together, the way they are on the court when people go down. It's a completely different team, each individual.
Yeah, and of course, you know, Damon says they don't never need Damon. Every time that man talks, I just scratch my head. But yeah,
Jay, it sounds like you're saying they're going to win a championship within the next 5 years.
I do. I agree with that. I mean, that's what I'm basically saying. I mean, I believe they have a 5-year window, but I don't think this next 2 years we're going to win it, to be honest, Ron. I think that, like I've been telling you guys the whole time, I think Steph Curry has another solid 3 to 4 solid years. Solid.
3 more rings.
Like solids. So I don't know if anybody's going to win besides maybe Steph, and if some super team gets built in the next year.
I think LeBron steals 1 and Steph gets like the next 2 out of 3.
Not with the team he has, though, Ron.
Yeah. They need a miracle.
I love you.
They need Dame Lillard.
Boston's scary depending on what they do with their front office. Boston's and Miami's scary depending on what they do in their front office.
Unless LeBron and Maverick and them are getting Donovan Mitchell's ear.
Dude, you know what? We're all sitting here talking all this mess. I'll tell you, I just named 2 teams. I'm just going to take a couple players off their team that are expendable, that if they went to L.A., and I hate L.A., so I don't even know why I'm saying this, but if they went to L.A., this would change some shit. You take Grant Williams and you take Victor Oladipo and you plug them in L.A., and the fucking game's over.
Boom. You love L.A., J. Ness.
That's where I was born, so.
Hey, I want to switch gears for a minute. I know we've been talking about NBA for a while. I think we all kind of have an idea. But there's something that's been they've been talking about for a while in baseball. I'm kind of shift to baseball real quick.
Let's talk about baseball.
Hey, listen. They are talking. Obviously, you know this is the last year for the infield shift. I think come next year it's gone away. From a defensive strategic point, I hate it. I hate when people do things to the game of baseball or any sport for that matter that messes with the ability to use strategy. And I think this is the worst thing that baseball could do is taking away the infield shift and taking away their strategic element. How do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, I agree.
Baseball's trying to get them numbers up.
I mean, I hate it also because realistically, like, how else are you supposed to change your defense and confuse the batting rotation on the opposite team, right? I mean, it's insane. You're basically telling the team you can't change your defensive performance out in the outfield, so you got to basically stay where you stand. It's retarded to me, and I just hate that we're changing the games all over, not just baseball, but all over, like NFL, NBA, everywhere. They're changing the rules, and they're just changing the sports in general.
Yeah, I agree, and that's what I feel about it too. I feel like when you start messing with the strategy, it really kind of almost limits what a coach can do to combat, you know, what hitters are doing, and I hate that whole idea. I just think it ruins the game. Ron, I guess Rob's doing it. Ron, what do you feel about the infield shift? How do you feel about it? Its contributions to the game, and if we lose it, impact.
I had a point to combat Frankie, but then he just said he hates all the sports more. So, you know, I was going to say, is it going to make the game more fun to watch? And of course, by Frankie's soliloquy, it's not. But is it going to make it faster, like more enjoyable for the common fan? You know, because sometimes the game of baseball can get boring to watch.
Well, I think you know what the infield shift should do for baseball players. You know, because you're obviously overloading their strong spot and giving up the weak spot where they pretty much don't hit the ball. It should force hitters to basically evolve. It should evolve the game of baseball where hitters are learning to be able to locate their balls in places where the shift is opposite thereof. So it should elevate the game, if anything, more than detract from the game.
And Frank, do you think that's a bad thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll lean
So,
to you for baseball,
I
so I
wanted.
gotta agree.
Well, I wanted to wait to hear what y'all thought because I think totally different. I don't know, man. I think that those type of rules are stupid as fuck. Excuse my French. I think that as a center fielder or outfielder or shortstop even, I should have free reign to do what the hell I want before the motherfucking pitch is thrown. I should be able to do whatever I choose.
Exactly, especially if you're in the outfield.
Right, like I should be able to. If I want to sit on my butt while he's pitching, I should be able to do that. If I want to go stand and smack hands with the fans while he's pitching, I should be able to do that.
Bro,
Yeah.
Aaron Judge plays catches with kids on the fans in New York every time.
Bro, and I think that that's the part of baseball they're missing. It's too structured. This ain't the freaking military. This is not, it's not like that. I think they need to open up the reins, let these guys go out there and show their personality while they play. It's not basketball. They don't get the opportunity to do some razzle-dazzle pass or something. It's not football. They don't get the opportunity to do a spin move and a juke move and get the crowd involved. Let these guys go out there and be themselves. Let them put the energy into the game. And all these rules where they're trying to, quote unquote, in reality, add excitement to the game is actually doing the exact opposite. And to me, I feel as if baseball is still structured at their target fan base hasn't moved. They haven't learned to target kids. They haven't learned how. They haven't learned how to target, the new age 20-year-olds to 30-year-old group. They haven't figured out a new way to target them. And these little things that they're doing they're not, it's not it. Exactly, Yuki. It's going to make it more boring. It's going to take more personality out of the individual players. Like, you guys, the craziest part to me is growing up, the dopest time period in baseball was the McGuire, Sosa, Bonds era. And do you know we didn't really get to see too much of their personality on the field? Most of the antics we enjoyed of them were off the field in their interviews, before and after the game, or in the dugout. And Sammy Sosa's personality was great at that time. They used to get mad for the bat flips. They used to get mad for the, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're stealing the heart of these players from baseball, from us.
And baseball's always kind of been like that a little bit, right? Though, I mean, it's been kind of a gentleman, I don't want to say gentleman's game, but it's just been kind of, it's hard.
That's the best way to put it. Gentleman's game.
It's just, it does. Baseball has always kind of lacked, the swagger and the stylistic of other sports. And I think a lot of times that's what makes it hard to catch on and grow like the NBA and the NFL has in popularity.
I'm going to say the unpopular opinion, but it's reality. This goes back to the Jackie Robinson days and all of that. Baseball has wanted their game to be their game.
Right.
They fought. They've always, and it's not just race, but they've always, at each era, they've always fought against change that changes their core values of the game. And each era, we have to overcome something small. You know what I mean? Like, each one. And I really think that word that you use, that swagger, that aura, it has to be infused into the game of baseball. I mean, I don't know about you guys. Even when I watch the World, or, when I watch the Dominicans and the Cubans and all these other, countries in their squads and them playing the way they play baseball, you can see the swagger in their game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Even Japan.
I don't know, man. I gotta be honest.
Japan's game is nice.
I can speak on this, Jay. Listen, I lived in Japan for 3 years, and I went to many Chiba-Lotte games against different squads. And I gotta be honest with you, in Japan, baseball is so different. So fast. Even the way the crowd interacts is different. I mean, they don't even Japan is very sterile when it comes to baseball. Yeah. It's very, very sterile. They clap these little things and they sit in a little chair and they don't do a whole hell of a lot. I mean, it's very different.
But the game.
Yeah. I mean, I felt very American when I was at the Japanese baseball games because I was yelling and they're looking at me like I'm an idiot because I don't have the little clapper thing. It was crazy.
I can imagine you, Jay. I can imagine you at like a golf tournament.
I was like, get the fuck! I was cursing a little bit, and they were just looking, and my beer was going all over the place, and they were just
a little bit.
Like, what the hell? Like, who the hell brought this redneck into a Japanese baseball game?
You're like, where's the beer guy?
And my girlfriend at the time is just like, she was Russian, and she's just like, freaking Americans. And I was like, damn.
Joe.
What the hell is so Jay was in Japan watching a Japanese baseball game with a Russian chick.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
It was a time to be alive because that girl was loaded and I was on the military dime and I was enjoying the hell out of it.
Jay's like, what curfews?
Oh my
what
God.
curfew, sir?
What base were you stationed at?
I'm not.
I was down there I was stationed at Yokosuka, which is about maybe 45 minutes south of.
Man. Yeah.
Jay doing 200 push-ups drunk.
I can imagine.
Yuki, I think that's one of the reasons why baseball doesn't change is because look at it, bro.
Yeah.
Look at baseball. Baseball is the closest thing America has to soccer. Okay?
It's true. That is true.
Baseball has how many teams are in baseball
basketball?
right now? What? How many teams are in Major League Baseball altogether?
I think it's like 30 something.
32 or something.
Jay, did you forget about basketball? Baseball is not the biggest thing America.
No. Let me pitch. Let me pitch.
There's 30 teams in baseball.
Let me pitch real quick, Ron. Hear me out.
30 teams in baseball, Jay.
30 teams in baseball, Major League. Then they got AAA. They got their own stadiums, their own teams. They got players. Well, there's like 40 players on a AAA team. Then you got AA. They got their own stadiums, their own fans and teams. Then you got Single A. Then they're connected with overseas in other countries. Baseball is the closest thing we have to soccer from other countries. Other countries the same way. They got their 17U teams, this team, that team, this league, that league. And that's why I think baseball is so hard for them to say, okay, let's change, because they make money in so many different ways. There's so many different streams of money coming into baseball. It's not like basketball and football where what we watch is what they get.
True. That's true. So I have a quick question for Frankie. I know this is because it's really kind of your team. Andujar is looking to request a trade. I guess he's your pitch hitter. How do you feel about it? And how will it have really any kind of effect on your team, given how well your team is actually playing right now?
Well, as much as I love Andujar, I literally love Miguel Andujar. He hasn't been showing up the last couple seasons, which is why we're at the position we're at, where he's a pinch hitter on the bench, never starting. He barely gets any time. And when he did was when Juan Carlos Stanton was injured. That's the only time we've seen him was when Stanton was out. And now that Stanton's back, Miguel Andujar is back in the bench, and he's not seeing much playing time. So I see where he wants. He wants to leave and get a team that needs him where he can get playing time, and that's totally fine. Look where we're at without Andujar. So I'm cool with it. I'm not mad. I just wish Andujar the best of luck. He is a good baseball player, no doubt about it. He's a good outfielder. And in return for Andujar, I just see us getting at least draft picks, not a major player. If we do get a player, it's probably going to be a minor leaguer, not very much. But I just want draft picks for Andujar. And where to send him, I really don't know. And to be honest with you guys, I really don't care. I just want him to go somewhere where he can get playing time because honestly, he do deserve playing time because he's a really good player.
I think the last topic we're going to hit for this evening is going to be about Mike Trout and baseball. He in 2018 he went on 0 for 21 skid, and then again this year he just ended his skid at 0 and 26, and the Angels have been on a 12-game skid during his 0 for 26 outing. You know, we all talk about how great, or at least in baseball, Trout's name is like synonymous as being the best, of baseball, this, that, and the other. But how do these skids affect him, especially 0 and 26? How does this affect this thought process of how good he is, or does it?
As far as his thought process on how good he is, I don't think it affects them. I don't think it affects him personally.
Right.
We already put him so big on a plateau. Now, is it a mental battle? I'm sure. Being up on that plate, 95, 96 mile per hour fastball coming at you consistently, and you've struck out 26 times, or you've been up to that plate and haven't had a hit in 26 at bats. I mean, that probably affects him a lot. But at the end of the day, Jay, that's the problem. That's one of the things about the game of baseball that I think that all of us might agree on some facet is that, basketball players are going to come out and score 30, 20 points a game. Football players are going to have 80 yards receiving, and baseball players might go for 4. And that's just part of the game. 26 at-bats is a lot, but it's Trout. Trout's going to bounce back, and when he does, he's going to be right back in the limelight and in Hollywood Squares. So,
how many games is that?
Like 7.
26. That's probably what it's average. What about 4 times? That's probably about 6 games worth of appearances. 6 or 7 games.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, who was he playing during that time?
I'd have to go break it down for you on that one. Hold on.
Hey, because back in the day, man, they had like Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling, and Roger Clemens, and then you going like there was, pitchers are strong too, bro.
Yeah, but 0 and 26, you should be able to do something. Damn it, especially if you're the franchise player. Especially if you're the franchise player.
I thought
you're muted, Rob. Rob, you're muted.
I said Otani's been struggling too, right?
Yeah, he
so basically the skid started on, it looks like around the 25th or 26th, but basically it's been the Yankees, the Philadelphia Phillies, and Boston. And let's be honest, Philadelphia Phillies don't exactly have the best bullpen in the world. The Yankees are, pretty good. And then Boston, so-so. So, I mean, we're not talking about the greatest of pitching like the Schillings and things of that nature. But 0-26, against those teams, he should have had at least a couple of hits in there somewhere. That's a pretty significant – to me, 0-26 is a pretty significant thing. But, like you said, I don't think it destroys him.
A shooter going through a drought in the NBA.
Yeah, I get it.
Right.
Mike Trout is over. This is the end of it.
Hey, how many games in a season?
Oh, there's 162.
Okay, and we talking about 6.
But it does play a lot on your team when you're the big guy, and when you go 12 on a 12-game losing streak, you need your guy doing that, especially for the money that you're paying him. That's a lot of damn money. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Yeah. I like my money, and when you're paying that much money to somebody, you need something.
Rest. He needs rest.
Man, we're about
to get tendonitis. He gonna get tendonitis in the elbows, man. That's what it sounds like.
Damn.
Roll some elbow grease on it.
Hey, look, folks, we're about the 209 on this show. I'm gonna open up for final thoughts, and then we're gonna get up on out of here. Final thoughts, everybody. Frankie, then Jay, Ron, and then Rob. Lead it off. Frankie. And Frankie has no final thoughts. Jay.
All right. My final thoughts. I'm gonna leave it like I've been leaving it. Free Britney. Free Britney. Bring Britney home.
All right, Ron.
I'm a big Albert Pujols guy, and towards the tail of his career, we always thought he was always going to be incredible. But it got towards those last couple of years on the Cardinals before he got traded to the Angels, and he was just no longer him. Mike Trout, he's 30, still a bit young, but I don't know, guys.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. You know what? The one thing about Pujols, though, is he is developing, and I forget that guy's name, but he's been developing some of the players on that Cardinals team. So I think what he's doing, at least in his last year, is trying to develop as much as he can before he calls it a day. And the St. Louis Cardinals are in a pretty good spot. They're not in a bad spot. They could make the playoffs. So we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Rob Scott, final thoughts?
Yes, sir. And I need to turn the camera on for this. Jay, I feel you. Free Britney. Bring Britney home. Brittany Griner, ASAP Sports Network. We riding with you. We grinding with you. And we praying for you. So hopefully you come home soon. And then also Warriors in 5.
5.
He said, by the way, Jay, it's all good. I appreciate it, Gridiron. Hey, listen, man. Gridiron King, Gridiron Yuki, you can see where the confusion could be made. And my wife really has been giving me hell over those pictures. So I got to have a talk with Gridiron King. I thought it was you, my bad. And I'm sorry if I gave you a weird aura, as you say. My bad. I totally apologize. He said, Damien, he guilty. Yeah, okay. Yeah, man, look, again, I want Brittany Griner to come home too as well. My final thoughts are free Brittany, bring her home, right? I mean, it's time,
I don't even know why the government don't just say, okay, look, we understand she did a crime. Just let her serve her time. We're home.
Hey, here's the thing. I got to be honest with you. I researched this. For what Brittany Griner did, it carries a 3. If she's found guilty in their system, it carries a 3-year sentence. That's what it carries. And in all honesty, there are other Americans. I've researched this as well. There are other Americans that are in Russian jails for that same offense that are doing a 3-year sentence for doing exactly what Brittany Griner did. And so my thing is, hey, look, man. And
they said it was paraphernalia, though. I don't think she got caught.
No. She had hashish in her little. What is that thing? The vape? She had hashish cartridge in her vape, which, I mean, we can do it in America. I mean, and we don't look that bad on it. I mean, it is what it is in America. But you got to understand, when we're in foreign countries and you are Brittany Griner and you have a popular name, I mean, you got to be careful with what you're doing. Again, I want Brittany to come home just as much as Jay Ness wants Brittany to come home and as much as everybody else wants her to come home. But I also want the other Americans that are there with her under the same thing that she did, I want them to come home too. So if we're going to bring Brittany,
I completely understand. So
we're going to bring them home.
So my standpoint on it is this: you do the crime, you do the time. I understand that part. However, be forthcoming with what's going on.
Right.
And that's the part. Yeah, that's the black part of the situation where it makes it sketchy.
Yeah. Now I get it, man. And like I said, hey, and the thing about it is, what makes it so hard is, the Russians say, okay, we'll let Brittany Griner go home if you give us this Russian terrorist or this, I think he's a drug dealer, I believe is what it actually is. And
no, he's more than a drug dealer. He sells arms to.
I mean, I'm sure what I'm saying is they want this guy to come home, and this guy's got his rap sheet's pretty nasty, like you said, Jay. And so it gets really hard. I mean, America only has one or two options, right? You're either A, going to send SEAL Team 6 in there and bust her out, or B, you're going to try to work through the diplomacy of it. But again, it's a hard thing to do, right?
Jay, if
Well, then we need the number on how many Americans are being held.
If it was you, Jay, I'd be in my jet right now. I'll be picking up Ron. Ron be driving to the landing strip right now. We'd be on our way.
Batman and Robin.
Hey, Jay, just so you understand where I sit on this side, right? I have no problems whatsoever. I have no problems sending SEAL Team 6 or whoever it is to go get Brittany out of there. I would say, hey, if you're going to get Brittany, get a couple of the other Americans with her and bring the whole lot home. But I'm just saying, if the Ukraine can get invaded by Russia, why the hell can't we send SEAL Team 6 and invade their ass and bring them home? I'm just saying.
Without going totally into
because we don't want World War III, Jay.
Yeah, without going into total
I think that's almost inevitable at this point anyway. But yeah,
it is. China looking at Taiwan.
Hey, they're all looking at each other. Trust me, this world is crazy.
Everybody pointing at each other like, "Go ahead and move." Go ahead and move.
It's inevitable. It's inevitable, but we just got it out of the pandemic. We don't need
Hey, can I get a show of hands before we get out of here? This is going to be crazy. But I went to the gas pump the other day. And this is beyond Brittany. Lord. But I went to the gas pump the other day, and I felt like I had to, damn near give 8 pints of blood to afford 2 gallons of gas. And I was thinking to myself, that to me is reason enough to invade Russia and get the damn oil prices back down. I'm just saying it.
We've done it before for less.
Bro, it was so bad. It was so bad. I went to the gas pump yesterday. And the guy before me only spent $5 because he probably couldn't afford the rest of it.
Hey, you know what? I don't hate on the guy before you that only spent $5. You know why? Because the guy before you that only spent $5, he probably goes to the same store once a day and goes home. He probably don't go nowhere else because, that's about what I do. I be in the
Hey, I'm the same way. Hey, listen, I'm the same way, Ray. I'm the same way.
Don't
my wife will tell you my car don't move but maybe 3 times a week, and that's it.
Don't ask me for a ride. Don't
Wait,
if it ain't in a 3-mile radius, I ain't visiting.
You guys got cars?
None of that. You come over here.
I ride a horse.
Hey, water's getting expensive too. I ain't riding nothing. We ain't going nowhere.
Hey, listen, Frank ain't riding no damn horse. He don't even know which end the saddle goes on.
That's true.
Frank said I'm riding a horse. A horse my ass.
He's a Patriot fan. I can't put it past him.
Man, he said I'm riding. All right, folks, listen, man. Hey, we're at 2 hours, 17 minutes. It's going to be an amazing. Tomorrow we got game 3. So I know it's going to be amazing tomorrow, especially coming on the morning show to get more predictions. But Ron,
race.
It's getting too expensive.
Steph Curry, we know you're watching. We need a 50-piece tomorrow.
Damn.
Hey, but he has to have a W with the 50-piece, so they're going to treat him like Luka.
Oh, really, we need at least 40, Steph. We need at least 40.
You want to see something funny?
He said...
Where everybody go? How y'all gonna do me like that?
Hey, listen, on behalf of Rob, Ron, Frankie, Jay, and myself, Jay McLovin, we appreciate you guys tuning in, making the comments. Again, Gridiron Yuki, Gridiron King, you can understand the mistake. I apologize, but I appreciate you staying in the comments regardless. It's been another edition of ASAP in the Morning, and we will see you tomorrow, bright and early, with more hot takes. Y'all have a good night. We're out of here.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we're making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. Offensitation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports all play.